Bills haven't been there as often as in the past, but Tony Dorsett of the Dallas Cowboys realizes that if one door is closed, another may be open, as it was against the Cardinals. In 11th round draft pick Dennis Thurman, the Cowboys have found a nugget in their secondary. Thurman tied for the NFC interception lead with 5, and this pickoff and 78-yard return of a Jim Hart pass, including Jay Saldy's sideline role of third base coach, put the Cowboys into the lead. However, it still took a last-ditch fourth down throw from Danny White to Tony Hill to pull out a narrow 27-24 victory over St. Louis. Meanwhile, the New York Giants, who could tie their longest losing streak ever, 9 in a row today, got a touchdown pass from young quarterback Phil Simms to tight end Gary Shirk against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, but it wasn't nearly enough as the injury-riddled Giants fell again, this time 30-13. New York has 19 rookies on their team. They've got 16 players on injured reserve, and the bright spots have been few and almost non-existent. Today, the Cowboys and the Giants battle it out in an NFC Eastern Division game from the Meadowlands in a capacity crowd of 76,500. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber, along with Roger Staubach. Cowboys, I know, want to get their running game going. That's one thing that hasn't worked.
Yeah, they do, Frank. They were shut down by St. Louis last week. They've got a lot of pride in the running game, so they've been working on it. They feel they can run against the Giants.
Too Tall Jones has been magnificent, playing like an all-pro on the Cowboys' defensive line. We asked him how he's going to handle young quarterback Phil Simms.
He's a very good quarterback. What I expect him to do is come out and first try and establish a running game. If so, he can be very effective. He has a very good receiver in Gray, and he's also mobile, which poses a problem for a defensive end in containing it.
Now, Simms is just a second-year guy. How long is it going to take him?
Well, I think it's a bit unfair this year for Phil. He had a good year last year as a rookie, but it takes a while to really get develop, and get the leadership. And he's had pressure on him going into camp. An 8-game losing streak. He's tried to do too much. So I asked him about the pressure of his, I guess, his sophomore year. Really, it's his second year.
Well, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a little more pressure on me this year. I felt it a little, but at the same time, I don't think it's affected my play. When we started losing here in the middle of the season, I did let it get to me for a couple games. I tightened up and did things I normally wouldn't do on the field, but now I've gotten over that, and I come out here every Sunday and I just do my job and hope that it takes care of itself.
Danny White's left shoulder, how much of a problem? You've been hurt before.
Well, Danny, fortunately, is right-handed, so the left shoulder is just going to constitute some pain. It shouldn't affect his play. The big thing, he missed practice during the week, and he might be a little bit rusty not throwing the football in practice. We're
ready now for the opening kickoff of this afternoon's game between the Cowboys and the New York Giants. Giants in white and Joe Danello will kick off for New York to get this football game underway. Cowboys won the first meeting 24-3. Timmy Newsome, rookie fullback at the 10, back to the 20, across the 25, and stumbling forward to the 35-yard line before he's dropped by Jim McLaughlin. Offensively for the Dallas Cowboys, Ron Springs gets his starting job back this week after Robert Newhouse started against St. Louis. Cowboys really have some problems with their running game. Drew Pearson, homecoming of sorts, played his high school football at South River, New Jersey, right around the corner from the Meadowlands. And Jim Cooper back in the starting lineup in the offensive line after missing a week because of an injury. Danny White, the Cowboy quarterback, and we'll watch him rather closely. He's had an outstanding year so far. Dorsett bobbled the ball momentarily, got the handle, and drove forward for a couple of yards, and we have a penalty after the very first play from scrimmage. A marker thrown on the far side of the field by his referee Ben Dreith, giving the indication offside against the Giants. It has been a long, long year for New York. After beating St. Louis 41-35 in their opener, they've lost 8 straight.
Defense, encroachment, number 70 line up in the neutral zone.
So it is 1st and 5. 76,500 at Capacity House. Another one for the Giants. Looking on here at the Meadowlands as the Cowboys break their huddle. White sending Tony Hill wide to the right side. Now we've got an official time here. And the Cowboys will go back into the huddle. Defensively for the New York Giants, the Giants are once again in the 3-man front. George Martin and Gary Jeter, the 2 ends, former #1 draft pick, both playing very well. And of course the veteran in the linebacking crew is Brad Van Pelt. The rest are all newcomers. And the New York secondary A lot of youth and inexperience there. Mark Haynes, of course, is their #1 draft choice. But he hasn't been starting most of the year. He was beaten out by Mike Dennis, a rookie free agent.
I think that timeout, Frank, was Coach Landry's headsets weren't working. He couldn't talk to Dan Reeves, so he got him fixed.
Dorsett trying to get outside on the 2nd and 5, picked up a couple of yards, and he's dropped at the 42 or 43-yard line.
Yeah, he's working on him over there. He got a wrong number there a little while ago. He was hooked into the New York Police Department. He wanted to talk to Dan Reeves.
3rd down. Cowboys will need 2 for the 1st down with the ball at the 43-yard line. Opening moments of the ball game, no score. A little communications problem there in the Cowboys sideline, which is being worked out. Dorsett comes out of the ball game. Robert Newhouse and James Jones are now the running backs on this. Newhouse fighting for the 1st down, did not get there.
You know, one of the strengths of this New York football team has been linebackers before. Of course, this year their linebackers are out. They've lost Lloyd, they've lost Kelly, they've lost Carson, and the front 3 you see here are really now have become the strength with McGriff and Jeter, and here's Robert Newhouse running into big number 770 right there, Gary Jeter, and also at the other end, George Martin is also having a fine year.
I said it was 3rd down. That was only 2nd down. Of course, the penalty figured in there. It is now 3rd down, and the Cowboys still need a yard for the 1st down at their own 44. Hope we didn't confuse you. Dorsett, Newhouse in the backfield. Jay Saldi in motion across the backfield, and Newhouse picks up the 1st down and some more as he takes it out to the 49. Tom Landry has indicated he'd use both of his fullbacks. In fact, chances are he might use all 3 of them. Newsome, the rookie, and then Newhouse and Springs. Well, tell me, Mr. Staubach, what does Amy Staubach's scouting report say about the ball game today?
Dallas by a landslide, Frank.
You said it. 1st and 10, Cowboys ball at their 49-yard line. There's Ray Perkins. He's got to be under a bit of pressure, too, just in his 2nd year as coach of the New York Giants. Looked like they had it turned around at midseason of last year. In fact, coming into this game last year, the Giants had won 4 straight. Dorsett on the pitch. And still not much there for the Cowboy running game.
Frank Marion was over there, number 51, made an excellent play, and also the cornerback came up from that side and did a good job. The Giants have given up quite a bit of yardage against the rush, and of course Dallas is trying to get back in stride and to run the football. So far the matchup has been in favor of New York here early in the game. Of course it's early, and the Giant defense is got a lot of people in there, a lot of new people, so they're going to be trying their best, but I think the passing game and the rushing game will be hard to stop Dallas.
2nd and 9. Nose of the football just into the Giants' end of the field. Danny White delivers the pass. Threw it behind the intended receiver, Drew Pearson.
Well, Mark Haynes, number 36, the cornerback, really was in good shape. The ball was a little bit behind Drew, and if he hadn't slipped, he had a chance for an interception there.
Mike told us when he tried to throw the football earlier in the week, the 2 or 3 snaps he took in the Wednesday practice, the left shoulder injury bothered his throwing. It would kind of jar him, and he said it was very, very painful. So he hasn't thrown a pass since Wednesday, so don't look for him to be too sharp here in the early going. 3rd down, 9, and the Cowboys go into the shotgun for the 1st time. White stepping up in the pocket, had all the time in the world, and finally found Drew Pearson. Well, the 1st down at the 36-yard line. That's what a quarterback likes to see.
That's the key right there. The Giants have got a 3-man rush. You notice 3-man, and they kept a defensive back. He came in slow, but it really was the 3 men put in the rush, and it wasn't a big rush. Danny had the extra time, and Drew finally found a hole over the middle. Number 26, Bud Hebert, and also Scorpion were back there, but they're double teaming Martin right here. You see Tom Rafferty, number 64, and number 75, Martin. So Danny steps up in the pocket, has that extra time, and Drew found the open hole behind the linebacker Scorpion.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys at the Giant 35. Dorsett takes it down to the 33, pickup of 2 yards. on that play. Where do you see the problem in the Cowboy running game? In the blocking, or is it the running of the backs?
Well, it's a combination of the two. There's no good running game without an offensive line, and of course an offensive line has got to maintain their blocks, and when you have running backs like Dorsett, the people are there. It's just that Tom Landry mentioned that he's throwing out a lot of plays. They've had a wide variety of running plays. Now they're going to concentrate on a few and see how it works today.
2nd and 8. Cowboys at the Giant 33. They've held the ball since the opening kickoff. Dorsett goes to the outside. 30, 25, 20. Lost the ball. One out of bounds. Cowboys will retain possession at the 17-yard line.
Well, Dorsett, it's kind of a delay back to the weak side. He's got Newsom, number 30, is out leading a great block on Scorpan there. Dorsett breaks it into the secondary. He drops the ball. The first time that of course, he hasn't lost a fumble in the last 81 carries, so he's gone 5 games without losing a ball. It was pulled loose, but it went out of bounds, and Dallas still maintains possession.
That was a great block by the rookie fullback, Timmy Newsom, who took 2 Giants out of the play on that game. First down. Cowboys have the ball at the Giants 17. And Newsom is in there, coupled now with Tony Dorsett as Tom Landry's
There's a play-action pass right there.
That's Newsom, intercepted by Brad Van Pelt.
Well, they're going to give him the
touchback.
The interception. It's a touchback. Newsom had, had Van Pelt. He had a step on him. White was getting some pressure in the inside, and he just laid it up too short. Van Pelt's got good recoverability, and he got back and made a fine interception, catching the ball over his shoulder.
Not a very good throw by White.
No, it wasn't. Danny underthrew this pass. Newsom had Van Pelt, but here's the blitz right here. Marion forces the bad throw, though. Marion did a good job on the blitz, and that caused the shaky throw, gave Van Pelt the chance to get back and recover. It was an excellent play, though, an excellent call, a play-action pass down around the 20 with the back running the swing. The linebacker's concerned about the run, and, of course, the play with the blitz, it was underthrown, and you got to give Marion credit for putting the pressure on White.
Giants' first offensive possession of the afternoon. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Phil Simms comes out throwing. There's a penalty marker down on the play as the pass is taken by Mike Freedy, number 88. A marker thrown back at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be ineligible receiver downfield against the Giants, which will wipe out that gain.
Well, that's amazing there. It was such a quick screen. He faked a pitch real fast, got the ball out there very quickly, but usually you have a guard or tackle pulling, so they probably pulled, when they pulled, instead of taking a step back, they must have gone downfield.
Offense number 69, ineligible man down the field.
Roy Simmons guilty of the infraction that moves the Giants back to the 10-yard line. It is now 1st and 20 for the Giants back at their 10. 9:52 left to play in the opening period. No score. Cowboys have had the football once. Phil Simms. Pitch goes outside. Leon Parry, number 30, getting the call. Knocked out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Let's go to Brent Musburger at the NFL Today.
Frank, just moments ago in Chicago on their first offensive series of the day, the handoff went to Walter Payton, and Payton exploded for 51 yards and a touchdown against Washington. Only Payton's 2nd score of the season. They lead at 7-0. Let's go right back now to Frank Gleber.
A pickup of 6 yards for Leon Parry. It is 2nd down, 14. Giants now from their 16-yard line. Second-year man. Phil Simms at the throttle in the handoff. Going to Larry Heater. Number 27, he gets it up to the 19-yard line. They're looking at 3rd and 11. Taylor and Parry were the starting running backs for the Giants. The rest of the offensive lineup. Mike Freedy is a wide receiver they picked up from Detroit several weeks ago, number 3 draft pick of the Lions. And a rather makeshift offensive line. Jim Clack, of course, is the anchor. He's been the guy that's been there all year and done an outstanding job. And Phil Simms 15 interceptions, 9 touchdowns. Third down, 11. Perfect throw as Sims threaded the needle that time to Ernest Gray. The ball was fumbled, and Dallas has recovered at the 45-yard line. Yet another turnover for the Cowboys, who are picking up turnovers like crazy this year.
We got Steve Wilson on Gray. He's pushing him. He's then has help downfield. But once Gray comes around Wilson right there, I tell you, Sims put that on a line, and it was a dart. It was right in there. Steve Wilson 45, Dennis Thurman 32, and Solomon 47 come over. It looks like
a pickpocket job there.
Looks
by
like
Wilson.
Steve Wilson just picked it up and also recovered it.
Took it right out of his hands, and now we've got a conference.
Yeah.
Down near midfield. Let's see if the officials saw it different ways.
Well, I'll tell you, the center is going back. Jim Clack Brad Benson, number 60, is going back, holding his hand up.
Personal foul against the Cowboys is the penalty call. And that being the case, it would result in a Giant first down. They will tack that on, I'm sure, at the end of the completion at the 41-yard line, which will move the ball to the Dallas end of the field.
Well, you saw Phil Sims' ability there. He is a fine, talented young quarterback. He can throw the football. He's got good maneuverability. We'll get the call right here,
There was a personal foul on the defense prior to the completion. They lost the ball. They get it back, and it's 15 yards. First down.
That's a break. It's a break for the Giants.
The whole thing is timing. Had that personal foul occurred after the fumble,
they would have kept the ball.
Cowboys would have kept the football, would have been assessed 15 yards. But since it occurred prior to the fumble, the Giants keep the football and have a first down now at the Dallas 44-yard line.
Giants have 2 tight ends in here, Frank, on first down. They can run either way.
Gray in motion. They elect to throw it. Sims, sideline throw is complete to Gray down at the 33. That's good for 11. And should be another New York first down.
This is a kind of a fake run. You get both backs coming one way. You kind of hold that linebacker on the other side over there from going out, because D.D. Lewis, number 50, if you don't have those backs going the other way, probably could have got out to give some help to Steve Wilson back there. But the flow kept D.D. Lewis, number 50, and of course Sims threw another bullet in there for the first down.
So the Giants have a drive going. Started at their 20. It's now reached the Dallas 33-yard line. Penalty marker down as Larry Heater tries the right side, reaches the 27. It was Randy White of the Cowboys who moved. Whether or not he got back in time remains to be seen.
That flag was thrown a little bit late there, but they still, it was on Randy White.
That'll tack on another 5 and move it down to the 23-yard line. You know, Cowboys had no business beating the Giants up here last year, did you?
No, that's the Giants
Defense,
really outplayed.
offside. That's a first down.
Yeah, number 54, Randy White. Giants really outplayed Dallas all the way the last 4 minutes last year, and the score was 14-6 going in those last 4 minutes. So the Giants have played tough, played Dallas tough, even though Dallas has won 12 in a row. Every game in New York has been a tough one. 1st and 5.
Giants at the 28-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. No score, still in the first period. Heater over the right side down to the 25-yard line. Let's go to Brett Musburger.
Frank, the Steelers have just scored on a block punt. They lead 10-0, and in Soldier Field, Vince Evans has just pulled out and hit James Scott for a 40-yard touchdown, and so the Bears have put up 14 points in less than 6 minutes on the Washington Redskins. They lead it 14-0. Let's send you back now to Frank Lieber.
It is 2nd and 3. Cowboy offensive line looking out at the sidelines. Are now within Joe Danello's field goal range. 6 minutes 53 seconds left in the first quarter. He's going for all of it. He's got 6. Ernest Gray. Gray, who scored 4 touchdowns against the St. Louis Cardinals in the season opener and hasn't scored since.
Well, that was an excellent job. Phil Sims has thrown 3 fine passes in this drive. Of course, that one for the touchdown, but if we get the replay right here. Watch this pump here. He's got Steve Wilson to the outside, Dennis Thurman to the inside. That little pump, and it was a turn in and go. Gray then took off again. Steve Wilson went for that pump, and Dennis Thurman got over there a little bit late. But it was an excellent play. It was set up well with the pump, turn in and go. Nice catch, and the ball was right on the money.
And Gray, as you saw, got the handle just in time. He juggled the ball, but got it under control before going out of the end zone. Danilo with the extra point. And the Giants lead the Cowboys 7-0 with 6 minutes and 46 seconds left to play in the opening period.
Sports Spectacular.
Joe Danilo kicking off for the New York Giants, who are leading the Cowboys 7-0. A real knuckler. Newsome fields it at the 8-yard line, back to the 15, 20, and Timmy Newsome is close to the 30.
Looks like he kicked that one with his elbow, Frank.
It was a real wobbler.
Here, we're going to get a chance to see the touchdown again. Here's Steve Wilson up there in the corner, number 45, and of course Gray, 83, is out there. Charlie Waters is up, but it's between Wilson and Gray. And this pump right here, Gray turned in and then he took off. He beat Steve Wilson. Steve guessed a little bit. Gray beat him. I'll tell you, Sims does something excellent here. He saw Dennis Thurman coming over there, so he threw the ball on the line. Even though Gray had him beat so bad, he didn't lay it up. He drilled it in there before Thurman could get over and give some help to Wilson.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys from their 29. Robert Newhouse taking the handoff and stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Curtis McGriff, number 76, the middle guard, who is a free agent rookie, made the stop, and not much there at all. Tom Landry, and with a victory today, Tom Landry can move ahead of Don Shula, and he would then be the number 3 all-time NFL winning coach. Saldi in motion. Sideline throw for Tony Hill. No good. I think he juggled that thing a little bit before he went out of bounds. It is not allowed. Bring it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 3rd and 8. There's a look at this crowd. Giants may be down, but I tell you, the fans keep showing up.
They really do, and the Giants are now on 2nd down like most teams are doing. There's Sims over there and Gray. I don't know what they're tossing each other about. They're probably going over another play because the 3 they've run so far, the 3 passes have been right there. The Giants bring in that extra defensive lineman in these passing situations, so instead of the 3-man rush, they've got 4 in there now. Puts a little more pressure, plus there's a blitz.
The blitz was on Danny White, and Danny had to unload it quickly. And the Cowboys will be forced to punt. So Dallas off to a shaky start here in the first period at the Meadowlands. 5 minutes, 47 seconds left to play in the opening period. White will be punting for the first time this afternoon.
Well, that 4-man rush, and you add a linebacker to it. It's a 5-man rush, and of course that caused the quick throw, and the pressure up the middle on Whittington, number 58, was a linebacker that got in there.
Alvin Garrett is the deep man. Another Giant free agent who played in the league previously with San Diego. Nice high punt. Garrett signals for the fair catch at the 19-yard line. And New York will put it in play from there, leading the Cowboys by a score of 7-0. We get some extracurricular activities down to the field. It's quickly broken up. We'll be back right after these words. Corrado, the Cowboys' number 2 quarterback, is taking some warm-up snaps on the sideline. Whether that means that Danny White's been bothered a lot more than he would care to admit by that bad shoulder remains to be seen. White has hit just 1 of his first 5 passes for 14 yards. Giants 1st and 10 from their 19-yard line. Leon Perry, a free agent rookie making his first start in the Giant uniform, is out to the 23. Harvey Martin made the stop. Here's a look at the Dallas front 4. Widely acclaimed as one of the best in the game, and they are playing tough. And of course, John Dutton spells cold. The Dallas linebackers, again a veteran crew. And the Cowboy defensive backs. Outside of Charlie Waters, a very young secondary. but they've done yeoman's job. Cowboys are ready. Have more turnovers this season than they had all of last year. 2nd and 8. Sims back to throw it. Gets it away, hangs it out. He's got Gray. Gray can't find it. And Thurman almost had him an interception.
Well, he had Gray, but Gray was right in the middle of that zone where Steve Wilson, number 45, was short, and Dennis Thurman was back there in good shape, deep.
He took a pretty good shot, did Mr. Sims, after he got rid of that football, and he bent over and inhaled.
I'll tell you, overall, though, the Giant pass protection has been pretty good, so that's a sign right now that the Giants seem to be playing a little bit more intense than Dallas. It's showing in the pass protection and the way the running game has gone so far.
Both wide receivers off to the left side on 3rd and 8. That would be Freedy and Gray. Larry Heater, the man in motion. Sims back to rush. A blitz is on, and this time they bury Sims back at the 15-yard line. Larry Cole, number 63.
Larry did an excellent job, number 63. Charlie Waters also caused pressure from the other side. You see the left guard trying to block down. Cole is on a stunt, comes around, but Charlie Waters, number 41, is on a safety blitz also. So Sims had it from both sides, the safety from the left and Larry Cole coming in from the other side.
Dave Jennings, top punter in the NFC.
Oh, he is booming them.
Look at that average.
That's fantastic.
Punting from his 1-yard line, gets a kick away, a line drive. James Jones watches it bounce, fields it at the 29, trying to stay in bounds. Got maybe a yard on the return to the 30-yard line, and then it was Larry Heater, 27.
Got a flag back there. I think it's going to be punted over again. I'd say Dallas should decline this one.
How would you decline it? I'd say take it. Let him punt it from 5 yards deeper in the end zone. It's an eligible receiver downfield.
Well, yeah, you're right. I was looking at the 40-yard line. They were back to the 31. I thought they were in the 41. So it would be better to take another chance on the punt. They ought to get better field position on this.
Ineligible man downfield, number 59.
I lost 10 yards in that. That was a low line drive punt, but with the bounce, it was probably a plus for New York, and it's a good play for Dallas to have New York punt again here.
Of course, we'll see after the punt exactly who was right, depending on where the Cowboys wind up. Jennings now 5 yards deep in his end zone. James Jones, outstanding Cowboy rookie, number 3 draft pick from Mississippi State, standing on his own 40, respecting Jennings' ability. Considerably shorter. James at the 47, up to the 50, 45, 40. James Jones still on his feet and down to the 30-yard line. A tremendous return. And the Cowboys come up with super field position at the Giant 30.
That's why I would have had a punt again.
I see. I thought that's what you meant. Timeout. 4:06 left to play in the opening period. Giants 7, Cowboys nothing. Lieber with Roger Staubach at the Meadowlands. The Cowboys have a 1st and 10 from the Giant 30-yard line after that fine punt return by Jones.
Yeah, that man downfield cost New York 40 yards.
Newhouse and Dorsett are the setbacks in the eye. Drew Pearson in motion.
There's a play action.
Danny White sideline to Tony Hill.
That's interference.
I would think so. Mark Haynes blatantly interfering with Tony Hill. I don't think he could have caught it anyway. Would have been out of bounds.
It was the ball was too high. It was out of bounds. Mark Haynes, number 36, came over and just obviously interfered in this play. There's the ball. It's sailing over Tony's head.
Defense pass interference, number 36. That's a first down.
First down at the 11-yard line. Cowboys could make another first down before.
You know what happens? The defensive back gets beat to the outside, and they panic a little bit. They try to recover, and they get too aggressive, and of course that caused the penalty.
Dallas trailing 7-0. 4 minutes left to play in the opening period. Drew Pearson in motion across the backfield. Dorsett trying to get outside. Gets to the 10-5 goal line. Touchdown. Tony Dorsett, 11 yards, 6 points.
Excellent play right there. Robert Newhouse got a good block. Herb Scott. Watch Herb Scott, number 68, pulling out. He's going to get right there. He brings the pursuit from the inside, gets that block, and of course that was the key to the play, and then Tony cuts back inside. But Herb's job is to kick a man out, but he saw the pursuit coming from the inside, and he made that block, and Dorsett then scooted the inside for the touchdown.
Septien comes on to try the extra point to knot this football game up with 3:54 left in the opening period. Charlie Waters will hold. I believe we got a delay of game. Whistle blew prior to the snap.
Well, that's how things can happen, though. New York's punting, an excellent punt. They get the ball off, and man's downfield. Then James Jones makes a great run back, and New York, instead of having Dallas back to their 30, now has them on their own 30, and Dorsett comes on.
So the extra point try now upcoming will be the equivalent of a 25-yard field goal. It's good. 7-7. Cowboys and the New York Giants in the second meeting between these two clubs. Dallas has beaten the Giants the last 12 times that they've met. That's a record for the Giants.
Boy,
Bears are putting it on the Redskins.
That's amazing there.
And the Steelers getting some of their injured people back, I'm sure helps, leading the Buccaneers also in the first period. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited. Septien will be kicking off. Tampa just got a touchdown against Pittsburgh to narrow that game to 10-7 on a Doug Williams throw to Kevin House. So that one's a little bit tighter. Beasley Reese, former Cowboy, is back deep. And Reese fields this one at the 5-yard line. Back to the 10, 15, 20, out to the 25, and up to the 26-yard line. Beasley was a former Cowboy draft choice who was later picked up on waivers by the Giants, and he's been pretty much a fixture in their secondary. Played his college football for the Mean Green, North Texas State University. Ray Perkins.
He's looking over the game plan over there. He's got it on the sidelines.
Giants 1st and 10. Ball is at their 25-yard line. Larry Heater caught as he tried to turn the corner. Harvey Martin in pursuit over there, doing a good job, along with Mike Hagman of the Cowboys. Yardage picked up to the 28. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Harvey Martin has 6 traps, which tops the Cowboys this year, 3 of which came against St. Louis last week. Young Phil Simms. Over the middle, intended for Gray. A lot of blue shirts around there.
Well, Bob Bruning and Mike Hagman were right there. He tried to hit the quick pass to Gray, and of course, I think Bruning got his hand on it. Mike Hagman also probably got his hands on the ball.
So Simms trying to figure out the combination to this Cowboy defense. Perkins alternates tight ends normally to send in his plays. There's your 3rd down conversions thus far in the afternoon. 3 minutes left to play in the opening period. Score is tied at 7.
Charlie Waters is up on the line of scrimmage again. Might look for another blitz.
Simms 2 steps back, throws the football, and completes the pass to Mike Frady.
Well, that's going to be enough for the 1st down. He got about a half a yard.
Frady Freedy, third-round draft choice of the Detroit Lions, later released.
Here's Freedy is breaking to the outside, just enough for the first down. The ball's thrown before he breaks. It's a little low. Freedy reaches back and makes the catch, and of course Aaron Mitchell's over there a stride late.
First down.
That's a tough pass to defense, and you kind of guess. Sometimes a cornerback comes up quick, but in that case it was a good play against the right defense.
Leon Perry, the fullback, across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. As Perry continues to run hard, he's a young man who the Giants signed as a free agent, was injured during training camp, and is just rounding back in shape. And this is his first start. Perry played his college football at Ole Miss. That was Phil Simms against Dallas last year in 2 games. Both of them won by the Cowboys. Dallas won rather decisively, 28-7 at Texas Stadium after that 16-14 squeaker. 2nd and 5. Larry Heater up the middle, a yard, maybe 2 at the most, and then shoved back by Harvey Martin, number 79.
And Harvey he read that play very well. He came right down the line of scrimmage and made the play at the point of attack, which was up the middle, and Harvey's pursuit down the line stopped the play. Dallas on 3rd down. Again, looks like a new team comes in there. They bring in 4 people. They replace all 3 linebackers, and of course in this case Larry Cole comes in for John Dutton also.
Giants have a 3rd and 4 from their 42-yard line.
Same play.
Throw out to Freedy. This time Freedy can't find the handle, and the Giants will have to punt. You know, you wonder a little bit how one team can be so decimated by injuries, and the Cowboys have really very few injuries since the season started.
Cowboys have been fortunate, especially this year. Of course, they've lost Randy Hughes, he'll be back in a few weeks, and Benny Barnes is back again, but they've been fortunate overall.
Jennings punting to Jones, who fields it at the 8-yard line, back to the 10, 15, 20. Hit at the 25.
You look up, as far as the Giants are concerned, you look up injury in the dictionary, and you got their team picture in there. They have just got a massive injuries this year. They've used, I think, 41 different starters this year at different times.
Got a penalty marker down here. Whose dictionary is that?
No, they just had their share of injuries and more, and
everybody else's. Yeah. Penalty against the Cowboys, moves it back inside the 10. It's a holding, looks like. Back inside the 5. From the spot of the foul, they mark it at the 3.
Defense holding a post-possession foul on 46. You go from the spot of the foul.
See that guy in the hat right there? Well, that's the guy that doesn't get excited. He gets excited. He's a competitor. I'll tell you, he's going after him. This is New York. This is where he got started. Boy, he loves to win these games up in New York, as he loves to win all games.
The foul was called on Roland Sullivan, Cowboy rookie, specialty team member. 1st and 10, Cowboys back at their 3-yard line, trying to get some daylight. Brad Van Pelt coming up to make the hit on Tony Dorsett, straight up the middle to the 5 for a pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd down 8. Of course, there was one time in his career when I'm sure Tom Landry would have killed to be the head coach of the New York Giants.
Well, that was
before he came to Dallas, obviously.
That was a dream. He was their defensive coordinator at one time and put in the 4-3 defense back in the old days.
And the Giant job became available a year or 2 too late. After he went to Dallas, Jim Lee Howell decided to retire, and Allie Sherman got the job. Dorsett trying to get outside and did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped at the 4.
John Scorpan, number 57, made an excellent play there. He tripped up Dorsett. Dorsett started to cut inside, broke back to the outside. Scorpan wasn't fooled and made the stop.
So the ball now is at the 4-yard line, and time has expired here in the first period at the Meadowlands. Cowboys and the Giants locked in a 7-all tie. Roger Staubach and I'll be back in just a moment. The Dallas Dallas Cowboys have a 3rd and 9 upcoming from their own 4-yard line as we start the second period of play. I'll take your word for that.
Yes.
What do you want to throw here, Mr. Quarterback?
Well, they'll go to the shotgun, even though they're backed up in their own end zone, and probably work something safe. You don't want a turnover back in this area.
A little sideline job here.
Wes Johnson looks like a good receiver in this formation. He's in motion now, going to the other side.
White 8 yards deep in the end zone, going to Tony Hill, intercepted. Mike Dennis, number 46, and the Giants have the football at the 21-yard line.
Well, that's an excellent play by the secondary, and I was talking to George Martin, their fine defensive tackle, number 75, about the frustrations of the getting almost to the quarterback and having a long pass complete. I'm sure he's happy about this.
But that's part of the game. It hasn't only happened that way this year. It's happened in many years in the past. But the thing is, we have to keep trying because, you know, it's not promised that we're going to be there every time. But we just have to keep pressing, and hopefully our secondary will you know, cause the quarterback to hold up a little bit and give us enough time to get there.
Well, it worked that time. Mike Dennis was on the spot.
1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Sims handing off to Larry Heater. And Heater drives inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. It's a Cowboy bench. Danny White there, and White has not been sharp at all today. Talking things over with head coach Tom Landry. Again, he's got a problem with that shoulder bruise on the left side, but I'm sure he wouldn't use that as an excuse.
I don't know if the shoulder bruise is bothering him. It's the fact that he didn't work out during the week when it was bothering him. Today, his right arm, of course, is in good shape. He seemed to let that ball fly on him a little bit and overthrew it, and Dennis was back there.
2nd and 7. Giants at the Cowboy 19. Score tied at 7. Bob Brunig was past Phil Sims before the ball was snapped. I mean, Brunig was all the way by Sims before the ball was even snapped.
That's what you're caught with your hand in the cookie jar right there, Bob. Dallas had a blitz on. Both linebackers were coming. D.D. Lewis almost came when he saw Bob Brunig on his move. Bob
on the defense,
just took off too early. That Bruning's an intense guy. I tell you, he's a heck of a football player. He gives everything he's got. He's got a lot. He's quick. He's strong. He's becoming a leader over there on the defense with Charlie Waters. And that time he was just a little bit too intense.
5-yard penalty moves the ball down to the 14-yard line. It is now 2nd down and 2. Heater 27, carry number 30 in the backfield. It is Heater for the 1st down to the 9-yard line.
No, the Giants are without Billy Taylor today. He's had some injury problems. You know, Heater, number 27, is run hard, and Leon Perry, number 30, both have run hard. These two guys have stepped in there today, and they're giving it everything they've got, and the offensive line's doing a pretty good job. They're moving the football on the ground.
Heater is a rookie from Arizona who started the season with Kansas City and was released and picked up by the New York Giants. 1st and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Heater over the right side down to about the 7. This, of course, is where it gets a little tough now. 13.5 minutes remaining in the 1st half. Score tied at 7, and the Giants trying to take advantage of the turnover created by Mike Dennis. On the interception, it'll be 2nd and goal to go with the ball just inside the 7.
Well, the yards do get tough down here. Of course, you got the back of the end zone is part of your defense also, so everybody plays up a little bit tighter. They don't have to worry about the real deep pass, and you have a different philosophy down there, a little bit more blitzing down around the goal line because you don't have to worry about getting beat deep. And Dallas is very tough in these goal line situations.
Heater one more time to the 5. Heater to the 2-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Heater was stopped by number 58, Mike Hageman. He broke that tackle and got down to the 2-yard line. Heater's running a lot of heat today. That's a pun. Not a very good one.
Not a very good one.
But Dennis Thurman, number 32, makes the hit right there. And without that hit, Heater might have scooted into that end zone.
All right, 3rd down. Goal to go. Giants from the Cowboy 2. Now George Martin is in the lineup as a tight end for the New York Giants to beef up their blocking.
Well, they've got the big guys in there now.
Perry driving for the goal line. He did not make it.
Oh, he's close. This is a decision time here. He is right close to that stripe. The fans want Perkins to go.
Perkins wants to know how far.
Oh, he's got a few inches there, Frank.
Well, he's got almost a yard.
When you're 1 and 8,
Might as well go for it.
You don't kick a field goal. Even if Dallas gets the ball, they've got about 99.5 yards to go.
Would you throw here?
No. They call timeout. Phil Simms wants to check it over. It's a heady play on Simms' part. If he wasn't sure it's such a key play, let's go over and talk about it.
Play coming up for the New York Giants, a 4th down and goal to go from the 1-yard line. This is what it's all about.
It's a real big one. I'll tell you, Dallas has been tough around that goal line. It's a test right here.
They go with Heater, and Heater scores.
Braun right there. There's Charlie Waters is coming in, and number 57, Huther was knocked out a little bit, and of course Heater got into the end zone. But there was a couple of good hits in there, and I know on that side Vern Holland and also Martin was in there, so they came over the defensive end, who was playing offensive tight end.
Scott Brunner, the rookie quarterback, to hold. Danilo with the extra point try. The kick is good. And for the second time in this football game, the New York Giants have the lead. This time with 11 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the first half. It's the Giants 14, the Cowboys 7. The New York Giants have come to play here at the Meadowlands. Here's Danilo with a short looper that's picked up by Doug Cosby, a Cowboy tight end at the 30-yard line, and returned out to the 43.
Well, I tell you, I don't understand
that wasn't an onside kick.
Look at Danilo got his foot caught in the grass, except it's AstroTurf. I don't know what he's trying to do there.
Well, he's given the Cowboys pretty good field position.
Excellent field position.
1st and 10 Dallas at the 43-yard line.
Let's see if someone's going to talk to him over there. Usually when you make a kick like that, no one talks to you.
Danny White has completed 1 out of 6 for 14 yards. Only your specialty team coach will talk to you.
And he's reluctant.
Billy Joe Dupree in motion for the Cowboys. Dorsett.
There's a big hole. There he goes.
50, 40, 30. Dorsett will go all the way.
Oh.
Did he get in?
1-inch line.
1-yard line.
Oh, Tony doesn't like that, but that's an excellent run. Once he saw the daylight, it was. Here's the play right here. Here's Dorsett. He's going right inside. Good blocking there. Rafferty, Cooper's turning him out. He breaks downfield. He's got Drew Pearson helping him down there. He now breaks to his right. He sees Drew to help him. Drew tries to make a good block right here. Dennis comes over and makes the play, and I'll tell you, he looks like he scored to me. I guess he hit something we didn't see. Look at, he gets through the line. There's an excellent block. Rafferty made a good block. Everybody's line of scrimmage does a good job with Dorsett's speed. He's downfield. Drew makes a good play right here. He gets a good block, but Dennis comes over here, number 46, and it's tight. Might have scraped his elbow there on about the 1-inch line.
1st and goal, and Robert Newhouse drives into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, the Cowboys didn't take long to get that one back, and that run by Dorsett, 56 yards, is his longest in 2 years. He did not have that long a run all of last season, and his longest run to date this year was just 20 yards.
He's happy about it. Dorsett is really he's a quality football player. He's got a lot of yards. His average is down this year. His rushing per attempt average is down, and he's pressured. He's running hard, but he's put pressure on himself. Of course, that helps relieve some of that pressure.
Septien's extra point ties it up again. One play drive. drive, making a 2-play drive for the Cowboys. The 56-yarder by Dorsett, the 1-yarder by Newhouse, and we're knotted again. Septien ready to kick off for the Cowboys. 14-14. Wide open football here in the Meadowlands. Beasley Reese, 3 yards, 5 yards deep in the end zone, will not run it out. Other scores around the National Football League. Let's take a look at them. The Bears 28-0 over the Redskins in the second period.
I'll tell you, the Redskins are having their problems. They lost to Minnesota last week.
Lost big, and they're losing big again. Second period score, Steelers over the Bucs 17-7. Our score 14-all. Cowboys and the Giants, still 10 minutes left to play in the second period. Gray is wide to the right side. Pitches to Leon Perry, and Perry carries it outside to the 23. Second down, call it 6 for the Giants. Phil Simms has put it in the air 7 times, 1 touchdown throw. Of course, for the Cowboys, you face a team that's lost 8 straight, and I would think you'd have a tough time getting the team up to play, wouldn't you? Could you get ready for the Giants?
Well, it's in the back of your mind, but again, they're coming to New York. Dallas knows in the past New York has played extremely well up here against Dallas, but the 1-8 record can cause a psychological problem. This is the second time out now that New York has had to waste, and of course before the half they won't have much chance for the 2-minute period.
Time out of the field with 9:58 left to play in the first half here at the Meadowlands. Second and 6, Giants ball, nose of the football just beyond their 23-yard line. Score tied at 14. Phil Simms, the second-year man, nice fake into the middle. And the blitz is after him. Now running him down is Dutton, and finally he throws the football away. So that'll set up a 3rd and 6. You may have noticed as you look at John Dutton, the former Baltimore Colt, that Billy Taylor is not starting this football game for the Giants. He has a sore knee which flared up in the pregame workouts. However, prior to the game, he was very complimentary of some of his new teammates.
Well, I guess that goes with football because you can never predict everything that comes because football is a strange game with injuries one week to another. But the fullbacks we have been doing a good job. I think Bo Matthews is blocking really outstanding. And the guy that's starting today, Leon Perry, shows good promise. And I hope we can show the Cowboys a little competition today.
3rd down 6. Billy Taylor, who played his college football at Texas Tech. No stranger to Southwest Conference fans. Again, Simms back to throw, pressured this time by Larry Cole. Cole chasing him to the sideline, and the pass is blocked by Harvey Martin. Punting situation for the Giants. Cole, the old man, helping the young man, Simms to his feet. Larry Cole, they say, is the world's oldest, fastest human.
Well, he is. He's the young son hero of the Cowboys also. Larry is just a consistent football player. That time Simms wanted to throw a quick pass. He had a short drop, and once he saw it was taken away, he then tried to scramble to find someone else and found Heater late. But the play was killed initially by the defense Dallas had trying to take away that quick sideline pass.
Jennings back to punt. Again, the Cowboys have the rush on. Good kick by Jennings. James Jones at his 30. Gets away from Nate Johnson up to the 35 and reaches the 40-yard line. He got 10 yards out of that return. When there was virtually nothing there, Johnson, number 84, was down there quickly. But Jones managed to sidestep him. Cowboys, after this game, will be home next week and the week after. In fact, they'll be home for the next 3 games. The Cardinals and the rematch of that exciting game we saw last Sunday, next Sunday at Texas Stadium, followed by the Redskins the following week, and then a Thanksgiving date with Seattle. 1st and 10, Dallas ball at the 40-yard line. Cowboys have never been ahead in this football game. It's tied at 14-all. Danny White.
Quick sideline pass.
Picked off by Brad Van Pelt at the 45, and Van Pelt gets gets it back to the 42-yard line of Dallas.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a heck of a catch right there. What Dallas tried to do there again was the running fake to the left side. White fakes it, tries to hold Van Pelt. Van Pelt's an experienced veteran. Watch this, flow goes away. See the running backs going one way. Van Pelt's an experienced veteran though, and he starts to go out to help on underneath coverage. He knew that the play would be out there in that area, and of course the catch he made was sensational. He got one hand up, tipped the ball, and then made his second interception of the day.
Almost forgot that he could get up and run some more. Driving hard is Leon Perry, the fullback, down to the 38-yard line. Now that is 3 interceptions that Danny White has thrown here in the first half. He has completed just 1 pass for the Cowboys and has thrown 3 interceptions. Well, very unlike Mr. White.
No, Danny White is very, very consistent. He's been consistent all year, and he's a little down on himself over there. He's not throwing the ball as well as he can, and it probably has the effect of not practicing during the week. Plus the Giants making good plays. You can't take that away from Van Pelt.
Perry driving up the middle inside the 35 and down to the 33-yard line. A couple short of the first down. There's the backup man, Glenn Corrado, who's seen action in just 1 game this year in a mop-up role against the San Francisco 49ers and has thrown only 1 pass this year. If it should come down to that, I'm sure Glenn would not come on unless White would not be able to go for injury reasons, not basically for performance reasons.
Well, you're not going to get White out of there with an injury. He likes his job. He wants to stay in there, and he's a tough cookie.
3rd down. Giants need a yard for the first down. Nice fake to Perry. He's looking long downfield. Heater at the 10. Larry Heater at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Giants.
Play right here. It's a run fake right here on 3rd down, short yardage. Heater's out to the sideline. He's got Aaron Mitchell chasing him downfield. Aaron's beat. Heater beats him. Aaron's looking for the run. Heater gets behind him, and it's a play action, perfect play action pass, and nice catch by Heater.
Whose man is that?
That's Aaron Mitchell's responsible for him out of the backfield. Number 34.
1st and goal to go. The official spotted at the 4-yard line of the Cowboys. Sims, easy touchdown, and this goes to George Martin, the defensive lineman who is playing tight end in the short yardage situation.
Look at George over there. Look at the Giant players, if we can get them over there on George. That's something special when the defensive end catches a touchdown pass, and of course it's a big play for the Giants regardless, but George is a happy soul. He's a good guy. We interviewed him as we saw before the game, and he's a good solid veteran. Here's the play action fake, and again it looks like Aaron Mitchell's just letting him go. I would be guessing that he was responsible there for George Martin, but I feel he saw Martin in there, number 75, and said, hey, he's not going to catch the ball.
The snap was low.
That's a big play there.
Yeah, could not get it down, so he is stopped. However, we got a flag.
We got a penalty.
There's a penalty marker down, and the Cowboys were offside.
Well, that's a break, because that 1-point difference can hurt you.
Update on that Pittsburgh game: the Steelers 17, Tampa 14. Another Doug Williams touchdown throw. This one to Jimmy Giles. They're still in the 2nd period.
Defense was offside.
So the extra point try upcoming for the 3rd time in this game. The Giants have taken the lead. 7 minutes, 13 seconds left to play in the first half. Scott Brunner to hold. They've got a new snapper, we might point out this week, which does make a difference. Another low snap, but he gets it up and gets it through.
Bad snap there.
Kelly Salfeld, who was just picked up this week by the Giants, is doing the snapping. They've had some snap problems in the past, and apparently continue to do so. Great job by the rookie Brunner.
Yeah, Brunner does a good job. The ball hits the ground, bounces up, and he bobbles it there, and then he gets it down. Of course, Danello's in his motion, so it's not much Danello can do. Brunner does a good job.
Well, we've got ourselves a football game. Cowboys and the Giants in the 2nd period here, about the halfway mark, and the Giants leading 21-14. Cowboys' Danny White has thrown 3 interceptions thus far. And the Cowboy defense not being able to stop the Giants, as Phil Simms has thrown 2 touchdown passes. One to Big George Martin, normally a defensive lineman who's put in the tight end spot in that short yardage situation.
Let's see if Danilo can boot the ball and give his own defense a good field position. Yeah, he's kicking it this time.
High kick, a little bit short. James Jones at the 8. 10, 15.
He's going to get outside.
20, 25, and up to the 30-yard line goes the Cowboy rookie. Dallas will put it in play. 1st and 10 from that point. That's been the Cowboy passing game, which is carrying them all season long. And for the first time, White is having an off day in the passing department, and the Cowboy offense is struggling. They've had to rely more on the rushing game. They got the one big one, the 56-yarder out of Dorsett. And they'll need more of that. First and 10. Dallas from the 30-yard line. They're into the field. Cowboys are playing comeback.
It's a quick screen.
Drew Pearson gets a football out to the 32, and then he is wrestled down. That is Pearson's 2nd reception of the day. He has both Danny White receptions, and Drew now needs 4 catches to become the Cowboys' all-time leading receiver, surpassing Bob Hayes. Cardinals have jumped out in front of the Falcons on a 38-yard touchdown pass from Jim Hart to Chris Combs. Our score, Giants 21, Cowboys 14, 2nd and 8. Dallas with the football at the 32-yard line. On the delay, Dorsett finds some running room close to the 1st down at the 39-yard line.
This is a draw play right here. Dorsett's back there by himself, and he gets the ball. It's good block in McLaughlin, number 52 right there. And of course, he's down into the secondary quickly, and Beasley Reese makes the stop. Dorsett's running quick. He's got good agility, of course, when he does run downfield, and he almost broke that one.
Unofficially, Dorsett in 9 carries, 98 yards. He's gained 100 yards in a game only once this season. 3rd and 1. Again, Dorsett gets the call. He's got the 1st down as he slides across the 40 out to the 42-yard line, but looked like he was going to be tripped up for a loss by Haynes.
Mark Haynes is mad at himself. He had a chance to get him for about a 2-yard loss, and Dorsett spun and got back inside and got the 1st down.
Speaking of Danny White of the Cowboys, as we were a moment ago, Danny wanted us to give a special hello today to a young 13-year-old lady from Phoenix, Arizona by the name of Shasta Smith. Very good friend of his, and he says he and the rest of the Cowboys are certainly pulling for this young lady. Dorsett going to go 45-15 down to the 45-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, that's one thing about Dallas. They've got the weapons to pick up when one area is not doing so well. Here's Dorsett. He's right up the middle. Then he breaks it to the outside, right down the line. With his speed, he can get outside. He gets outside of Beasley Reese. Drew Pearson's working downfield, and Dorsett again has got a nice gain and a 1st down.
Well, you made a very big point there. You know, the passing game isn't working. Now they've had to go to the run, and it's producing.
Yes. The running game hasn't worked. The passing game picked up the slack.
D with 114 yards rushing here in the 1st half. That's his best day of the year. We're not even at halftime. White looking for Billy Joe to clear. He's picked off again.
Danny is really off target. That ball was
Gary Wilford.
That ball and it got away from him, and Billy Joe was wide open. He just he doesn't like that. He's mad at himself, but he's the kind of guy that can throw these and come back with a strong performance later on. But right now, he's forcing the ball a little bit. He's pushing it. He's pushing it high right there. Dupree's open. It's behind him. And, of course, the defender's right there. And Gary Wilford has the interception.
Wilford, number 20. Picking off White's 4th pass of the 1st half. 4 interceptions. 1st First down, Giants at their 26-yard line. They lead 21-14. Sims out for Gray, tipped away by Steve Wilson, number 45. Now, how much? This is another test for White, is it not? That he doesn't get himself rattled.
Well, here's the play right here. Sims is looking back, and Steve Wilson is responsible for Gray, but he also knows he's got help from Dennis Thurman deep. Gray gets a step on him, but Steve recovers and knocks the ball down. Nice play by Steve Wilson. And of course, here's Dennis Thurman coming over to help deep.
Second-year man for the Cowboys, who was a wide receiver last year. 2nd and 10, Giants at their 26-yard line. Larry Heater runs into a stone wall at the line of scrimmage. Everybody in on that play. Too Tall Jones, number 72. C.D.D. Lewis, number 50. Now, isn't this a test for a quarterback? You've thrown 4 interceptions here in the first half. Now you fight a little bit of a mental thing, saying, what is it?
You do. You fight the mental thing. But again, Danny White has got the character. He's a big play guy. He's been a winner since college, and he'll come out of it.
We need these Giants like Custer needed more Indians.
That's bad timing on that right there.
It is very bad timing because the Giants are playing probably their best football of the year. Sims going long for Freedy. Freedy makes the catch at the Cowboy 22.
Well, I'll tell you, Freedy came over from Detroit. We saw him up there in Detroit a few weeks back, and they liked him there. The Giants like him, and of course, they really like him now. That was an excellent play as he showed some speed. He's a big, tall guy, and he got behind Aaron Mitchell. And Sims put that ball right on the money. Sims, of course, is having a fine day throwing the football. He's thrown it all over. Dennis Thurman's trying to recover to get back, and I'm not sure who's the guilty party, if it's either Thurman trying to get over there later. It looks like Mitchell thought he had to help deep, and Dennis might have been over there a little bit late.
So the Giants are on the march again with a first down at the Dallas 22, and Heater takes it inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Sims now is 7 out of 13 for 147 yards. That pass play covered 48 yards. Giants leading 21-14, 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the first half. And the Giants are carrying the fight to the Dallas Cowboys right now. Trying to get this monkey off their back. The Cowboys have beaten them 12 straight times. Second and 7 from the 18. Sims back to throw it over the middle. Heater, touchdown. Penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage. A flag was thrown at the line of scrimmage. The indication is the penalty is against the Cowboys. If so, let's see. We haven't seen the touchdown signal.
I tell you, Ben Dreith is pointing that way, but he's also bringing the ball back.
Can't have both, I would think. Now he was pointing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Penalty is against the Giants.
Well, that's a big play right there.
He'll spell it out for you. It's a tripping violation.
Offense, number 77, tripping.
Well, I'll tell you.
Vernon Holland.
That's a tough call. Here's number 77 right there, which is Vern Holland. Well, he did trip. He knew he was beat, and he swung those legs back, kind of a whiplash type movement on Ed Jones, and tripped him up.
Take a look at it again.
Well, that's an unusual call, but based on this replay right here, he leg whips him right now. That right leg, left leg.
Second and 17 from the 29. Sims back to throw it again. Down the sidelines. Aaron Mitchell is there. It almost intercepts. Mitchell, number 34. You know, you're talking about Randy Hughes a few moments ago. I was talking to Randy the other day. And, in fact, talking to Tom Landry. And there's a good chance that Hughes will be activated next week for the St. Louis Cardinal game. But Landry's so pleased the way the secondary's been playing that he really doesn't want to disturb anything. So Hughes, who was a starter at the beginning of the season, is going to have to work his way back in there slowly.
Well, I tell you, Hughes is a great athlete. He's worked hard, and you want him in there somewhere.
He suffered a shoulder separation and underwent surgery. in camp. Of course, he took Cliff Harris' place to begin with, and now Thurman is in there.
Here comes a blitz. Charlie Waters blitzing.
Heater overthrown at the 25-yard line. Clinkscales, number 47, came up, and now we get another flag.
They're going to get roughing the quarterback this time.
Penalty is against Dallas. That was a third down play. And it's questionable at that point whether or not the Giants are within field goal range. So that's another big play. This will give them a first down, keep the drive going, and move the ball.
Well, Dallas had the blitz on, the same blitz they had when they trapped Sims before. Sims recognized Waters coming. Of course, Waters was coming from his right, from Sims' left side, which he could see him, and he got rid of the ball quickly and then got hammered.
Roughing the passer, number 54, first down.
Randy White.
Here's Sims, gets rid of the ball quickly and then gets, it looks like a shot in the chin right there.
Tom Landry looking up at the scoreboard clock here, which indicates 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in the first half. It is a first down from the 14-yard line. And Sims goes back to throw it again. Good protection this time.
Oh, man.
Drive and catch at the 5 and down to the 2-yard line goes Tom.
They're going to get a penalty on Charlie Waters right here for hitting Mulledy late. It's going to help him about a yard, but there was nobody near him. Sims saw him late, threw it low, but there wasn't a soul near him. He could have walked in the end zone.
That's normally the...
He tried to roll in the end zone right here.
That's normally the safety's responsibility, Waters, isn't it?
Well, no, not in this case. Waters is coming from the... Watch him coming from the other side of the picture right here. Now, right there, Waters, bam. That's just a little late hit. Looked like Mike Hagman had Mulledy over the middle, and...
Personal foul, piling on.
But again, the pass protection.
41, that's a first down.
The pass protection was excellent there. Sims had a chance to survey the field, and it did not look like Mulledy was his primary receiver, and he came to him late and, of course, set up this goal line situation.
Penalty's about even. Of course, that's just half the distance to the goal, 1 yard. And puts the Giants in business with a first and goal to go just outside the Cowboy 1-yard line. They go to Leon Perry, and Perry drives into the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, the Giants got it back. It looked like that penalty on tripping was going to hurt them. And then the penalty on Sims brought it back. And here's Leon Perry. He just hit in the middle of that line. He's running hard. He's been running hard all day. And he scores by a few inches, and that's all it takes.
Ray Perkins told his team a couple of games ago that they might not win another game this season, which I thought was a little unusual comment for a coach to make to his team.
Well, he had his fingers crossed when he told him that.
I bet he did.
I don't think he'd want to believe that or want the team to believe that.
A lot of movement prior to the snap. Flags go down. The kick is up and good. Let's see where the penalty.
Another penalty.
That's like 4 penalties in a row we've had here.
They'll probably get this on the kickoff if it's on
Defense is offside. The point counts. Will penalize 5 yards on the kickoff.
So, surprise. The New York Giants, who have lost 8 in a row, lead the Dallas Cowboys 28-14. Two-minute warning going to both benches. Cowboys will get the football back now for the 2-minute period. There's Phil Sims talking things over with Ray Perkins. Danny White in the first half has hit 2 out of 9 for 16 yards. Has had 4 passes intercepted. Now, you said earlier he wouldn't take himself out because of an injury. But at some point, if that thing's troubling him, you've got to make up your mind whether or not you're hurting your team.
Well, Danny doesn't believe he's hurting. He's having a rough first half. I'm sure he feels he can come back. I think this 2-minute period right here is the key to what's going to happen in the second half.
James Jones, 7 yards deep in the end zone, will not take it out. And the Cowboys will get the football at the 20-yard line. And this giant crowd has suddenly become revved up.
Coach Landry likes to start out these 2-minute periods when you have all your timeouts, some type of screen, quick screen, or a quick move over the middle. And where you hit the running back over the middle or to the outside, and then have 2 plays called so you can run up to it and get things started after you hit the quick early play, the screen type pass.
In their last 7 games prior to today, the Giants have scored 5 touchdowns. They've scored 4 in the first half today. White back to the 10-yard line. Good protection. Tony Hill at the 40. Hill to the 45. Still on his feet. Finally goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Backtracking, he actually lost about 5 yards.
Well, I tell you, White put that one right on the money. It was a deep in route to Tony Hill. Again, Butch Johnson over on the other side is clearing out deep, and Tony Hill's coming in underneath the coverage and makes the catch and gets out of bounds.
He gets all the way to the 45-yard line and then has to retreat and has finally run out of bounds here about the 42.
Well, he can run with that football.
Cowboys obviously would like to go to intermission with 1 more score on the board. Wide open offensive football game so far. 1st and 10 from the Dallas 42.
Comes a blitz. There's a quick screen over the middle.
Ron Springs at the 50.
There's
40,
nobody there.
40. Springs to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. He scores.
Oh, they hit that one right on the blitz.
So the Cowboys come right back as they did following one of the prior touchdowns.
Here's the play right here. The Giants have a 3-man rush, so they decide to blitz everybody. And of course, the ball's thrown over. There's plenty of blocking now because you have most of your linebackers already committed. And Springs just takes it right down the middle of the field.
It's a perfect call for the situation.
Oh, it's perfect play. Well, that happened fast.
58 yards on that play. Perkins taking a look at the scoreboard now. Septien with the extra point try. Cowboys took 24 seconds to score. Following the New York touchdown, the extra point try is good. And this is a 28-21 ball game. And still 1:35 left to play in the first half. Both teams having little problem moving the football against each other.
Here's the play to Springs again. Again, you have everybody committed. They're on top of White, but now you have the lineman out in front. Some excellent blocks right there. You can see Herb Scott getting one, and of course Springs is downfield with only 2 men down here. He's got Tony Hill screening someone off. He's got Mark Haynes being screened off by Tony Hill, and Springs takes it in. Perfect play against the right situation. Couldn't have asked for a better defense.
And Springs accepting congratulations, former Ohio State star. Septien ready to kick off. Last time that the Giants beat the Cowboys in New York was 1970, 10 years ago. Last time they won in Dallas in 76. Beasley Reese 2 yards deep in the end zone. Out to the 10, 15, 20. Reese trying to get loose, takes it back to the 25.
Well, there's a clip back there, and it's going to be on number 81 for the Giants, who's Tom Mulledy, the guy that Mulledy,
you're right the first time.
Mulledy, he made the fine catch to set up the touchdown, but he pushed Eric Dickerson.
And that, of course, will mean that the Giants will start this drive inside their 5.
Say Tony Dickerson, number 51 for Dallas.
On number 81 on the run back.
Ron Springs, the Cowboy runner, started at fullback today. Picking up a touchdown when the Cowboys really needed it. Giants got to be wary now of the turnover. Dallas could go in and tie.
Well, Dallas should probably use their timeouts down here if they can stop New York in this first play.
Heater, number 27, and Perry, number 30, have done a good job behind Phil Simms. Larry Heater out to the 5. To the 8-yard line for a pickup of 5.
And Dallas will still use their time. They'll still use their timeouts. Well, Dennis Thurman was signaling, but
now they stop it with 1:11. Giants 28 and the Dallas Cowboys 21. The timeout situation here in the first half. Terry Bradshaw has just thrown a touchdown pass to Lynn Swann, and Pittsburgh leads Tampa 24-14. And the Bears are now 35-0 over the Redskins in the first half. Of course, Brent Musburger and the NFL Today company will be along at halftime to give you a rundown on all the scores and all the highlights and some interesting features as well.
Did the Redskins show up?
I think so. We'll have to confirm that.
Here's Ernie. He's talking now to his defensive people, talking to his signal callers there, both Bob Bruning and Charlie Waters, and they want to keep him back there. They'd like to see New York punt out of that end zone.
He is just Ernie to you, but he has a last name to a lot of people. Ernie Stockton. George Martin has come into the ball game, number 75, again as a tight end in this double tight end setup for the Giants. He may become pro football's first two-way performer since Chuck Bednarik's days. He keeps up logging as much time as he has on offense. He's caught one touchdown pass already, which is the third of his career, but his first offensive touchdown. The other two scored defensively. Second down, Giants need 5 for the first down. Make it 6. The ball is at their 8-yard line. Obviously would like to bottle them up back here. Get their hands on the football. Sims back at the goal line. Airs it out for Heater. Incomplete at the 40, and Ray Perkins wants an interference call. Perkins really got hot. Moved about 15 yards down the sideline to talk to one of the officials. We did have a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Dallas is mad about something, and that's why. Must have hit the passer again. I don't think they like Phil Simms.
Defense, roughing the passer, number 63. First down.
Well, the first time it was Randy White on the roughing the passer call. This time Larry Cole.
Larry Cole.
Mild-mannered Larry Cole.
Phil Simms seemed like a real nice guy when we met him, Frank.
That's right, before the game.
Dallas doesn't like him.
He did something to get him mad, like scored 28 points in the first half. That moves it out to the 23-yard line, gives the Giants a breathing space. First and 10. Heater over the right side out to the 30-yard line. Giants look like they'd be contented to run out the clock.
Well, they only have one timeout left, so they probably figure they can't do much with that, but the fans won't like it.
Runs pretty hard.
Yeah, he's got Perry blocking for him right here. Watch Perry get the hit on Tony Dickerson, and then Heater spins off and makes about 5 or 6 yards.
Second and 4, Giants at the 30-yard line. Dallas isn't going to stop the clock either now, apparently. Nice hole for Perry, and we get another flag.
Got a holding there in the line of scrimmage.
We mentioned if the Giants lose this ball game, it would be a 9-game losing streak, which would tie their previous record set in 1976. They opened the year in 76 with 9 straight losses. Last year they lost their first 5 and then turned it around and won 5 out of 6. Here's the call from the referee, Ben Dry.
Holding, offense, number 69.
It's on Roy Simmons, the left guard. Moves the ball back to the 20-yard line. It'll be second down, 14. There's the comparative on the two quarterbacks. White has had all kinds of problems today. Again, if you joined us late, he's got a shoulder injury.
It's a mistake up there for Simms on those 9 interceptions, but
is that what it said? 9 interceptions?
Pretty obvious.
Straight handoff to Heater over the right side out to the 23.
Well, Dallas is going to take another timeout. They're going to get a few seconds. They can at least maybe try to block a punt.
Dallas, second timeout.
Well, the Cowboys will have 1 timeout left. Charlie Waters will come over to the sideline for a word with Ernie Stautner, the defensive coordinator. You'll notice Stautner wears the white T-shirt there, while the rest of the Cowboy assistants are all decked out in blue. He always wears a contrasting color because he calls those defensive signals in the sideline, and that way it's not hard for Waters or Bruning to pick up the signals. Ray Perkins, at 38 years of age, youngest head coach in the National Football League, former assistant at San Diego. On his right is Bill Austin, who once upon a time was a head coach in this league. Pittsburgh Steelers. For many years an assistant on Vince Lombardi's staff, the Green Bay Packers.
Well, you got 15 seconds to go, and Dallas is thinking they can call a timeout, probably try to block a punt. New York's trying to figure out how they're going to run those 15 seconds off and not let Dallas have the football, or even a chance for the football.
Again, keep in mind, Brent Musburger, Phyllis George, Herb Cross, Jimmy the Greek at halftime with scores and highlights on the NFL Today. Third down, Giants need 11 for the first down from their own 23. Heater trying to get outside and is stopped at the 25. Let's see if the Cowboys, yes, they do stop the clock, which will force the Giants to punt here. The Cowboys can either go for the punt block or maybe the big return on what will probably be the last play of the first half. So again, the two teams call timeout. Remember several years ago, it was a Monday night game. The Giants were at Texas Stadium, and a group of Giant rooters came down from New York, and they had a little flip card section. They were going to put up "Go Giants Go" at a certain point, get themselves on television to the fans back home. And I don't know what they were serving that night at Texas Stadium, but about the end of the third quarter, when it came time to make the big move, the signs came up and it said "Ugh," and that's "Ugh."
Well, you got a million of them, Frank.
Well, another timeout killer. Fourth down. Giants need 8 for the first down.
Well, this punt return will probably take about 9 seconds.
See if the Cowboys come with a big rush or peel back for the return.
They've got to be going for the rush. And New York knows it.
Here they come.
There they come. There they go.
The kick is high and short and goes out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
1 second left. And there's a penalty.
Naturally. We've had a ton of them here in the first half, better than 100 yards worth of penalties. Looks like it's going to be against the Giants.
If 1 second to go, and if Dallas takes this penalty, I wouldn't even punt again.
It comes down to a question of what do you think your odds are? Better running a punt back for a touchdown or throwing a Hail Mary?
Well, getting a punt block. Just 1 second to go, you can run the play off. I'd say Dallas will.
No penalty. No penalty.
No penalty.
Well, the flag was down, but they changed their mind, so the Cowboys will get the football at their 46 with 1 second left to play in the half. Time for one play. What do you think? Wind up and let it fly.
Well, Dallas has worked on a play like every other team, putting maybe 3 wide receivers on one side and let them get down to the end zone and hope the ball will be tipped up in the air and someone will catch it. That's about all you can do here.
Cowboys trail 28-21. And somehow you feel there's going to be a few more points scored in this game before it's over.
Yes.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of Dallas. They go with the hit screen to Tony Hill, but that's the half. Tony saw the door close. There was nothing there whatsoever. And the first half ends with the New York Giants leading the Dallas Cowboys 28-21. Roger Staubach and I'll be back shortly.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger with Herb Cross. If you're a Giant fan, don't get carried away. About a year ago was the big turning point when the Cowboys discovered Drew Pearson. Of course, they had Roger Staubach at quarterback. Then if you look at the board, it's kind of fun, though, to see the Giants, who are averaging 13 points a Sunday, now lead the Cowboys 28-21 a half. But a lot of football to go. That's right, the Bears over Washington. You think it's Sid Luckman taking it out on Sammy Baugh in the 40s again when you look at that score. How about Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay? Tampa had closed in, and then the Steelers got a double ricochet touchdown to Lynn Swann. Got to be good and lucky. San Francisco shutting out Green Bay 13-0, 22-yard pass to Berg Solomon, 1-yard run by Linville Elliott. Cleveland and Baltimore. Oh, Brian Sipe, he's a dandy. 39 yards to Dave Logan, 5-yard run by last year's Heisman Trophy winner Charles White, and it's 14-0. Detroit and Minnesota slugging it out in the Midwest. No score in the second. Big surprise, 17-3. Pat Tilley has caught a 50-yard touchdown pass from Jim Hart, so the Falcons could be in trouble. Irv, there are some marvelous players at some of the small schools around the country.
That's why you come up with the gym. You know, Brent, a couple of weeks ago, we showed you likely Heisman Trophy candidates. Well, today, we're going to look at the great unknown, some of the best players you'd never heard of who are likely to go high in the NFL draft to clubs warmed by the thought that history repeats itself.
Few NFL clubs took notice when this young man graduated from SMU in 1954. But when he retired from the NFL, everyone knew all about Raymond Berry. In 1961, the Los Angeles Rams drafted this prospect from obscurity in South Carolina. He soon was appointed the Secretary of Defense, David Deacon Jones. But perhaps the greatest success story involving an unknown player centered on this 1954 University of Louisville star. The hope of finding another Johnny Unitas excites men like Gil Brandt of the Dallas Cowboys.
As a scout, there's a great deal of self-satisfaction when you can find players at smaller schools that go on to star.
The stars are shining ever so brightly in the small college ranks this year, like Sam Green, wide receiver for the University of Nevada at Las Vegas. He's the owner of a great pair of hands, and he has that big play ability.
He's a John Jefferson type of receiver, and this is what everybody's looking for in our wide-open game today.
There's no such thing as too many great running backs. And number 31, Clifford Chapman, demands respect. He has rushed for better than 3,000 yards in his career at Central State University in Edmond, Oklahoma.
The amazing thing about Clifford Chapman is he's almost 6'2", 225 pounds, and he holds the NAI record for the 100-meter dash in his area.
On defense, remember the name of Don Washington, a Texas A&I safety. He's picked off 17 passes in his college career.
He's big, he's fast, and he has a unique ability of being able to close on a receiver. He will be one of the first defensive backs taken in the country come May when the draft is held.
But perhaps the first unknown to be drafted this year will be Portland State's record-setting quarterback.
Neil Lomax undoubtedly will be the surprise of the draft. He is big, he's strong, he's smart, he's got mobility. He reminds me a lot of Roger Staubach. He has the ability to make a team a contender within a few years. He has great ability for a small college player.
You know, Brent, Neil Lomax had quite a day yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, it was Portland State, 105, Delaware State, nothing. Lomax completed 16 passes, 8 of them for touchdowns. He was indeed the only man in the country who had a better week than Ronald Reagan. We'll come back with the highlights as the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations. It's had this many highlights on the Giants in 2 years. Would you believe what happened? They intercept Danny White 4 times. White had the Cowboys moving right off the top, Irv Cross, and then Brad Van Pelt just stepped in there and picked this one off, and you have to believe this may have turned the game around.
You know, because White only threw 9 interceptions coming in this game. He's had trouble this afternoon.
Then it was Phil Simms to Ernest Gray for the score.
Well, he's a deep threat, and here cradles that one in to put the Giants on the board.
Tony Dorsett round the left side for 11 yards and the touchdown, and it was deadlocked at 7, but then another interception, this one by Mike Dennis.
This one really hurt because it set the Giants up in great scoring position, picked off there around the 20-yard line, and, of course, New York's not finished.
Who are these guys named Larry Heater? Where'd these people come from?
Rookie out of Arizona, there he goes.
Now, we all know where Tony Dorsett came from. Watch this run down to the Giant 1-yard line in the second quarter.
What a big day, Brent. He carried the ball 11 times in the first half, gained 114 yards. This guy's got another 30 minutes to go yet, too, eh?
Newhausen banged in for the touchdown. Then another interception. Number 10 again, big Brad Van Pelt.
You You know, Roger Staubach's doing that game for the Cowboys, for CBS.
They'd rather have him on the field.
Yes, sir.
Tackle eligible George Martin, the big defensive player, has got the lineman's green. Who is this Mike Freedy? I don't know where these people came from for the Giants, and I don't think the Cowboys do either. And Leon Perry for a touchdown. I'll bet you that Tom Landry's got the roster out right now trying to figure out who he's playing. Oh, here's a pretty play. Screen up the middle to Springs.
They caught the Giants in a full blitz. Even though they had a three-man rush out there, they had linebackers coming. Cowboys caught them just right, and, of course, Springs just sprints into the end zone.
What an explosion in Chicago, Irv. Here comes Walter Payton for a 51-yard TD.
You know, Walter's gained he's averaged about 88, 89 yards a game this year. That one, of course, is his longest run of the year, I believe.
How about Vince Evans on this touchdown pass? What about this young man at the quarterback?
Gotta like him. He's a strong arm. He's perhaps the strongest quarterback in football. He threw the ball 13 times the first half, completed 9 for 189 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Here's one of them.
Joe Theismann made like Billy Kilmer. One difference. Hit the guys in the dark jerseys with this wobbler. And here comes Campbell down to the Washington 3-yard line. Let's go away from Big Walter this time and give it to Roland Harper on a 2-yard touchdown. Evans and Payton are not finished. Here comes a 54-yard touchdown to Sweetness, who in this game has doubled his touchdown output of the entire season. Now, Atlanta and the St. Louis Cardinals in. Here's your man, Jim Hart, looking for Chris Cones,
Atlanta was concerned, of course, about Hart's passing ability. We know they have great young linebackers, but if anybody can find a weakness in the defense, Jim Hart can.
Hey, here's a receiver that's small, slow. All he does is score. Pat Tilley.
He's one of the leading receivers in the league right now. The little guy spurts in for a touchdown.
Now, we've got some highlights from Green Bay, San Francisco. I thought the Packers would give the 49ers all they wanted in Milwaukee, but it's the other way around. DeBerg has replaced Montana as the starting quarterback for the 49ers. He sent Solomon zipping into the end zone. He laid up a beautiful pass. 20 yards for the score. Extra point was no good. Linville Elliott then barged in for the touchdown. And now, watch Solomon on this next sequence,
Great concentration.
Isn't that unbelievable? And San Francisco banged in, and now they lead it by a score of 13-3. And let's send you back to Frank Lieber right now.
Thank you very much, Brent. Frank Lieber back with Roger Staubach once again at the Meadowlands, where the Giants lead at halftime, 28-21. Question number 1. You think the Cowboys will make a quarterback change at halftime?
No, I don't. I think Danny's the type of quarterback that can come back when he has some problems. He is suffering from the shoulder injury, but the big play before the half, the screen pass to Springs, I think put some confidence back in the team, and I would see him staying in for the rest of the game. The first half, of course, the turnovers were critical, and Phil Simms threw the ball very well, and New York ran. The big play for Dallas was Dorsett's run.
You get the impression, as we said earlier, there are going to be a lot more points on that scoreboard before it's all over.
It's a wild, woolly game. Dorsett, of course, ran well, and Springs made the big play, and Simms has been hitting his receiver. So it's a game where you say there's going to be a lot of points in the second half. You never know, but based on the first half, it's the scoring is still not over.
Well, as far as the Cowboys are concerned, the defense, of course, has not played that well. But on the other hand, they've been saddled with poor field position as a result of those 4 Danny White interceptions. We should have a great second half here at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And we'll be back with the second half kickoff in just a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford and your local Ford dealer, who invite you to test drive the new 1981 Ford cars and trucks. Sylvania, makers of Super Set Color TV and a complete line of home entertainment products. And by Allstate Insurance Companies. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Both teams on the field now prior to the start of the second half. The lights are on here at Giants Stadium. It's a very cool, overcast afternoon. There's Danny White, the Cowboy quarterback, who had all kinds of problems in the first half. He wound up 5 out of 12 for 98 yards and 1 touchdown. But the big statistic, of course, was those 4 interceptions that the Giants picked off, enabling New York to run up a 28-21 lead. It is a little chilly. It was 37 degrees earlier this morning. And for a guy who played in his shirt sleeves when it was 10 degrees out, you look like you're freezing to death with a sport coat on.
Well, it is. It's a little bit different up here. It's cold. On the field, it's just about right. There's not much wind. That makes a big difference in this stadium. The Giants played Denver a few weeks back, and the winds almost were 40 miles an hour at times during the game. So fortunately, there's not a lot of wind today, and it's not bad on the playing field, but if you're not out there, it's a bit chilly.
Giants Stadium is completely enclosed, so the wind situation here would be of a swirling variety down in the field. Cowboys will be kicking off to start the second half. Rafael Septien doing the honors. Beasley Reese is the deep man in the kickoff formation. This one coming down to the far side to Nate Johnson, and Johnson picks it up at the 11, back to the 15-yard line, and he is stopped shy of the 20. So the Giants will put it in play from there. 1st and 10. New York with an amazing offensive outburst in the first half. 4 touchdowns. Again, keep in mind that they'd scored only 5 touchdowns in their 7 previous games. Now the question is, can they keep it up? Because you feel that the Cowboys are going to score some too here in the second half of play. Sims in the first half, 8 out of 15 for 159 yards. He was trapped once. Leon Perry fights his way out to the 23-yard line. Again, Perry is a free agent rookie, came to camp with the Giants originally. The man he's paired with in the backfield, number 27, Larry Heater, started the season out with Kansas City as a draft choice of the Chiefs, was let go and was picked up on waivers by the Giants. You've seen a lot of new names in there.
Yeah, well, Perry's only run 3 times before this game for 15 yards, and he's run hard today, and he's blocked well for Heater when they have made their big running plays work.
A pickup of 4 at 2nd and 6. Sims throws it, tries to loop it out to Mike Freedy. Number 88, Freedy picked up just a couple of weeks ago from the Detroit Lions, who made him a 3rd-round draft pick. He saw a lot of action for the Lions earlier this year as a messenger wide receiver, alternating on plays.
Well, the Giants had a quick out pattern. They've worked well in the first half, and of course that time Aaron Mitchell was right on top of Freedy, and Sims looked over, saw he didn't have it, tried to get Freedy behind Mitchell, and of course it just didn't work.
3rd and 6. Ernest Gray in motion. Wilson following him across the backfield. Sims's rush gets it away, just as Randy White, number 54, and Too Tall Jones, number 72, crashed down on him.
Well, Randy White made an inside escape there that put pressure immediately on Sims. He had nowhere to go.
Giants dominated the ball in the first half as far as offensive plays are concerned due to the interceptions. Cowboys normally are way out in front in time of possession, but the rest of the stats,
well, it's basically turnovers that we don't see on there, but New York cashed in on 3 of the interceptions for touchdowns, and the other interception stopped the Dallas drive.
Jennings back to punt. Jones is deep for the Cowboys. Dallas trailing 28-21. Again, a big rush. Jennings gets it away. Low spinning kick, bounds at the 40, 30, and out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Well, Jennings got all he could out of that one. It wasn't a good kick. Dallas has probably noticed something in the Giant punting game that they're trying to take advantage of, because they've rushed most of the punts today, which is unusual. They might rush 1 a game, but today they've rushed quite a few, so evidently New York has some weaknesses there, and they're trying to get Jennings to punt quickly, and it's worked. He punted quickly that time, but he got the roll.
Officials mark it at the 22. 1st and 10, Cowboys from that point. Danny White remains at quarterback. Timmy Newsome, number 30, rookie fullback, is in there, coupled with Dorsett, who rushed for 114 yards in the first half. And Dorsett starts off again. Up to the 25, fumble the football. Let's see if it's allowed, or the play had been whistled in. Cowboys will retain possession.
They're coming back to the weak side here, away from the tight end, as Van Pelt holds his ground. Scorpan, well, number 52 is in there this time. It's not Scorpan. It's Joe McLaughlin holds his ground, and there is a ball loose underneath that pile. But the referees say that Dorsett was down when he fumbled.
A pickup of 2 on the play. It is 2nd down 8. Nose of the football. Not quite to the 25. Dorsett left side. Trying to get outside. Knocked out of bounds by Mike Dennis at the 29-yard line. He's a couple shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2. Coach Tom Landry always seems to do well, it seems, at making whatever halftime adjustments are necessary, doesn't he?
Well, he does. He's all business at halftime. They go over the plays that they felt would be good against the Giants and why the Giants stopped them, what plays that are working, and concentrate on those. And they might make up some changes at halftime, but mainly it's just determining what the Giants are doing and deciding what plays to use in the game plan that are best against the certain defenses. So it's all business at halftime.
Third down, a long 2 for the first down for the Cowboys at their 29. And White, first pass of the second half over the middle, completes the pass to Billy Joe Dupree, and it's very close to the first down marker. He didn't pick up much at all. Depends where they spot it.
Well, Billy Joe did an excellent job that time. He kept his body in front of Beasley Reese, number 28, and he got the first down. White has plenty of time right here. Martin, number 75, is doing everything he can to get to the quarterback, but Andy Frederick's doing a good job on him.
First and 10 for the Cowboys at their 33-yard line as Jay Saldi, number 87, into the Dallas huddle with the next play from head coach Tom Landry. Cowboys with the number 3 offense in the NFC coming into this game. Dorsett started to his right, cut back in, reached the 36-yard line. Pickup of 3, second down 7. Van Pelt, number 10, making the stop.
That's Bill Austin right there going over some odds and ends with that Giant offensive line. He's talking to Jim Clack, number 56.
Clack is probably one of the best trades that the Giants ever made. Picked him up for the Pittsburgh Steelers for John Hicks, who turned out to be a big flop. Second and 7. Clack's been the mainstay of this Giant offensive line for several years. Cowboys from their 36-yard line. Dorsett outside to the 40. First down at the 45. Haynes came up to make the hit, but Dorsett was already out of bounds.
Yeah, Beasley Reese, number 28, slowed him down, but there was a blitz that time, the linebackers blitz. Someone did not get outside. Beasley Reese got out there late. Dorsett started inside, broke outside, had a lot of room except for Reese slowing him down, or he might have got down those sidelines.
First and 10. Ray Perkins chewing gum rather furiously. Cowboys at their 45-yard line, trailing 28-21 here in the third period. To a surprisingly feisty bunch of New York Giants.
There's a screen.
Trying to get it to Ron Springs, and Springs trips and falls at the 43-yard line. Lost his footing.
Well, Dallas is not executing the way they can. It was a screen, and Herb Scott was out there in front of it. John Fitzgerald, number 62. Watch 68 pulling out. He blocks right here, and then he tries to get out in front of the screen. He gets out there late, though. He blocked a little bit too long, and he and Springs are not in coordination. Scott got out late. Springs is in front of him. He sees Scott in his way, and he's tripped by Fitzgerald, number 62. So that was poor execution. It started when Scott made his block, and he didn't slip off fast enough.
Second and 10 from the 45. 11 minutes, 29 seconds, third period. White looking downfield.
Throwing that away.
White is hot about something. Somebody obviously wasn't supposed to be where he was. What did I say?
Well,
you know what I mean.
Probably true.
Flag is down on the play, so bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he did not expect Hill to run a fly pattern, which Hill did. The option apparently lies with the Giants here. We'll get the call.
Illegal motion, number 88. Decline the penalty. Third down.
Drew Pearson was in motion. And you saw it there. He did not apparently come to a stop, a full second stop there prior to the snap of the ball.
This is where Dallas has been the best in the NFC on its third down conversions. And New York is last on third down, stopping the offense on third downs. Got the four-man rush.
White looking for someone to go to. Hits Tony Hill for the first down at the Giant 43.
White had trouble in the first half throwing the football, and a lot of it's attributed to that left shoulder. He hadn't worked out all week in practice, but boy, the last few passes he's thrown, the one before the half to Tony Hill and this one are drilled well. They're right on the money. Tony had to jump a little bit, but he got his body in front of it. The ball was right there.
Again, White took just 3 snaps all week. Has not worked out at all since Wednesday because of that bruised left shoulder. It is his left shoulder, but he says it's caused him problems throwing as well as handing off. 1st and 10. Something obviously appears to be wrong today. Newhouse takes the handoff and gets nothing. Other scores around the National Football League. Let's bring you up to date. Redskins and the Chicago Bears. Well, the Redskins finally got on the board in the 3rd period on a Theismann pass, 3-yarder to Ricky Plate. Vikings lead the Lions 10-0. A 67-yard pass from Kramer to Ted Brown. And the Browns in front of the Colts 21-6. Charles White scoring the latest touchdown. He scored twice, and Brian Sipe has thrown for his score to Dave Logan. 2nd down, 11. Our score, Giants 28, Cowboys 21 here in the 3rd period. Dallas at the New York 44. Dorsett left side down to the 40, 35. Tony Dorsett is inside the 30-yard line to the 29, having his best day of the year by far.
Now this is a play that's been put in just for the Giants. We haven't seen it all year. It's a delay back to the other side, back to the weak side, away from the tight end, and they're getting all kinds of running room over there.
That's a Dallas first down at the 29-yard line.
Key block was on number 70, Gary Jeter, that time.
Dallas started this drive back at the 22. Dorsett has now got 148 yards on the ground in 16 carries. Drew Pearson in motion. Newhouse, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Well, I tell you, that's a big play by Robert Newhouse, one of his longest runs in the last year or so, and he was going off the right tackle, rolled it back to the middle of the field, cut back and showed his speed. He runs like a bowling ball, but he's got good speed when he gets in the open. Here he goes. He runs the daylight. Good block by Fitzgerald, number 62, and Herb Scott, 68. And Tony Hill comes across. Mike makes a good block, and Dennis and Robert turned on some speed at the end and into the end zone, standing up.
Septien will try to tie it up for the Cowboys with 8 minutes and 58 seconds left to play in the 3rd period. Waters holding. The kick is good. Dallas has never been ahead in this football game. It's always a case of the Giants moving ahead and then the Cowboys coming back to tie it up. They've done that now 3 times. Robert Newhouse of the Dallas Cowboys, who scored the tying touchdown just a moment ago. The kickoff by Septien sails out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And Dallas will have to do it again. So we're tied at 28 apiece with 8 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in the 3rd period at the Meadowlands. Look at the statistics on the Giants, not the game statistics, but what's happened to them this year. 41 different starters, 16 players on injured reserve, 19 of their 45-man roster rookies. And they've got only 17 players left on their roster who were here on opening day. They've had a tremendous turnover.
Well, they're playing hard today.
They are. Last week, New York started 6 rookies on defense against Tampa Bay, which has to be unprecedented. Septien now kicking from the 30-yard line. Nice high kick driving Beasley Reese back to the 5. Fumbles it to the 3-yard line, and now he's in trouble back there. Gets it out to the 10 and drives forward to the 13-yard line. So the Giants have less than admirable field position with which to start this drive. Giants have been doing it to the Cowboys today on turnovers with those 4 interceptions. On the other hand, Sims has not had a pass picked off. And the Cowboys haven't been getting the turnovers. They had 31 on the season coming into this game, which leads the entire NFL. Sims stepping back to his 5-yard line. Sideline throw, completes it to Mike Freedy out at the 23, very close to the yardage necessary for the first down.
Well, that was a nice catch by Freedy. He gathered that low pass in, and the ball was just a few inches off the ground. It's a fake, the running fake right there, and Sims has people in his face, but he still gets rid of the ball in front of Aaron Mitchell, number 34. Nice catch by Freedy.
You figure the St. Louis Cardinals might be down a little bit after that heartbreaking loss to the Cowboys. Not so. They're in front of Atlanta in the second period, 24-6. Otis Anderson has just scored on an 8-yard touchdown run. Measurement here.
I'll tell you, St. Louis lost a heartbreaker last week. Dallas pulled it out there in the closing minute. But St. Louis has played well. The week before they'd beaten Baltimore.
First down for the Giants at the 23-yard line.
They come to Dallas next week.
Ray Perkins, great All-American at Alabama, wide receiver with the Colts. Sims has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Leon Perry really got crunched as he tried to turn the corner.
Yeah, Heater missed a block on Charlie Waters. Charlie closed down, and Heater missed the block, and Perry suffered on account of it.
Dede Lewis was there, and so was Waters. The man who runs Charlie's Angels, the nickname given the Cowboys defensive secondary.
Watch Waters in this play. See, Heater number 27 missed the block on Waters, and that's it. And he's cleaned up there with the help of Dede Lewis.
2nd and 9. To the 25-27-yard line. Giants are going to be looking at a 3rd and 7. Harvey Martin in on the tackle. Other scores around the NFL. Let's bring you up to date on another important game. 49ers made the Packers 13-10. At least it's important to the 49ers and the Packers. May not be to a lot of people. Packers still, who knows, have an outside chance of making a run of it at that NFC Central title, which is a little wacky anyway. That's up for grabs. 3rd and 5. Sims gets 3 for the first down at the 36-yard line. Again, a lot of time made the difference.
That's right. I like this Phil Sims, though. He's definitely a cool customer. He's in his 2nd year, and as a sophomore, it's a little tough. He takes a short set, then gets back deep. Good protection there. And he waits and catches Freedy over the middle. Brad Benson, number 60, did a good job at Harvey Martin. Here's Freedy. He's coming back in underneath. Aaron Mitchell's on him. The ball's thrown right here. It's enough for the first down.
1st and 10, Giants at their 36. Score tied at 28 with 6 minutes left in the 3rd period. Sims again with good protection. It's Mullery, the tight end, for the first down at the 40-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Dennis Thurman, number 32, comes up to make the stop. Tom Mullery.
Hey, the Giants have an excellent game plan. They're mixing up their passing game. They're faking to the right side. They got both wide receivers the other side. The tight end is on by himself over on this side, Mulledy, and he, of course, catches the ball. It's kind of an against the grain pass. You fake your running backs to one side and come back to that open area over there, and Dennis Thurman just couldn't get over to Mulledy on time.
Thurman on that tackle was giving up about 50 pounds to the big tight end. New York first down at the Dallas 40. Over the middle, completes it to Heater at the 30, down to the 26-yard line. Goes the Giant running back, Dede Lewis, number 50, on the stop.
Well, they're mixing these passes up well. They're going to Freedy, going to Ernest Gray, going to Heater, going to Mulledy. It's an excellent passing game that New York has shown today, all day.
Would have been kind of easy for the Giants to go to the locker room and say, what are we doing here? Cowboys come back and score that touchdown. And easy now for the Giants to fold, but they haven't. They've come back. First and 10. Ball is at the Dallas 27. Sims looking to Gray, and he's got him at the 15, 10, 5. Ernest Gray scored. We've got a penalty back at the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be against New York.
That will be the second touchdown the Giants have called back this afternoon because of a penalty.
They're going to get Gray for pushing off.
Offensive pass interference.
Yep, that's a big play and really hurts New York.
That'll move it back to the 36-yard line.
Offense interference on number 30.
Oh, they got it on number 30 on Perry, pushing off. And he wasn't even a factor in the play. That's where the shame of it is. He had nothing to do with the play itself, but he must have run into a linebacker or just knocked someone over with an offensive pass interference and not even being a factor in the play. Gray scores, so that's a big setback for New York.
Just under 150 yards in penalties against these two clubs, and quite a few more have been declined. 1st and 20. Giants at the Dallas 36. Sims, sideline throw. As Gray, he got 10 back. It'll be second, call it 11 for the first down.
Yeah, I tell you, Sims is really throwing that ball. He's on target. He waits, watch him pump the ball right. Then he drills the ball right into the chest of Gray, in front of Aaron Mitchell, number 34.
She'll spot the ball at the 26-yard line. Make it 2nd and 10. Brady to the left side, Gray to the right.
Comes a blitz.
Brady, intended receiver, and Aaron Mitchell picks it off. Mitchell back to the 40, 50. He's got Clinkscales out in front blocking, and is finally dropped at the 29.
Well, Sims went to the sideline on the blitz, threw the ball a little bit behind. Mitchell was in good position, made the interception.
Like Sims.
Here's Sims is back. Watch the blitz. Here's Charlie Waters. They're coming. And the cornerback doesn't have any help in the middle of the field, so he's favoring the inside. The ball's thrown behind, and of course Mitchell's right there. Makes a play, big play.
And you're looking at a possibility.
What a turnaround there.
Of a 14-point swing here.
Yeah, that's right. The touchdown's called back, and now Dallas is in good position the other end of the field. Well, they've done it. They've done it all year. Last week it was Dennis Thurman.
1st and 10, Dallas at the Giant 29-yard line. Newhouse and Dorsett in the eye. Drew Pearson in motion. Flag down. Newhouse breaks through. Down to the 21-yard line for 8 yards.
New York was offsides.
In this case, he'll probably decline the penalty since the offside would give him only 5. And the gain would give him 8. Almost 9 yards.
Defense, offside number 70. Decline the penalty. 2nd down.
Gary Jeter guilty of the offside call, the defensive end. Cowboys will take the down, which gives them a 9-yard pickup to the 21-yard line. 2nd and 1. This is where you quarterbacks get a little sneaky and try to throw it here in 2nd and 1.
Good time for play action pass. You can waste it down right there.
Well, when you're running the ball as well as the Cowboys have in this football game, it doesn't make any difference. First down at the 16.
They're running at will. The running backs, Tony, of course, and Newhouse are running hard, but that offensive line, they're clearing some people out of there. Some good blocking downfield also. That's how you break the big runs downfield, if you get some blocking downfield.
Dorsett this year with his slow start is in danger of missing the 1,000-yard barrier for the first time in 8 years. 4 years in college, his first 3 years as a pro. First and 10 from the 16. Dorsett it is with Herb Scott out in front. Out of bounds at the 13. Pickup of 3 on the play. Joe McLaughlin, number 52. making the stop. A little chilly on the sidelines for Phil Simms.
You talk to yourself there. He's talking to himself. He has a touchdown to Gray. Everything looks hunky-dory, and all of a sudden it's a penalty. He comes back and throws a pass he'd like to have back that put Dallas now in scoring position. That play on Dorsett right there, that what makes that play is his little dip to the inside, gives that guard enough chance to get around, get to the outside. It brings the linebackers in, and then Dorsett dips to the outside, and that play's been working all day for Dallas.
2nd down, 7. Should the Cowboys score here, they will lead for the first time in this game. Dorsett, he will score. Not to be denied. Tony Dorsett, 13 yards. Make way.
He's like a rocket in there, and it's good blocking with Fitzgerald's right in the middle, number 62. He's blocking down his man, and then Newhouse comes in, gets a good block. Rafferty gets a block, and Andy Frederick, who's in for Jim Cooper, makes a nice cut block, and Dorsett's into the end zone, and Drew Pearson's going to congratulate him right there.
That's 19 carries and 168 yards rushing for Tony Dorsett. And with White having problems throwing the football today, the running game has certainly taken up the slack. 3 minutes, 13 seconds left to play in the 3rd period as Septien rifles the extra point through the uprights. And for the very first time in this game at Giants Stadium, the Dallas Cowboys own the lead, 35-28. Septien ready to kick off for the Cowboys. Light rain has started to fall here at the Meadowlands. There was a possibility of rain in the forecast today. Beasley Reese at the 7, back to the 15-yard line. Reese fighting his way out beyond the 25. And is finally dropped at the 27. The umbrellas start to pop up. And this is a rather chilling rain here. The temperature, I believe, has fallen into the 40s now, upper 40s. And getting a little colder for the Giant fans, particularly. New York led at halftime, 28-21. But the Cowboys have come back with the first 2 touchdowns of the second half. They go into the lead for the first time, 35-28. Leon Perry caught at the line of scrimmage by Randy White, who many will tell you right now is the best defensive lineman in all of pro football. I can't think of anyone in the league playing any better.
There won't be many that argue with that, Frank. He's had a sensational year, game in and game out. He hasn't really had a bad game. Randy normally plays very consistent, solid football.
Steelers and the Bucks, Redskins and the Bears. Redskins scored another touchdown, the Joe Theismann touchdown pass. That game's at the end of 3 quarters now. Simms floater over the middle. Didn't quite get it to Tom Mulledy, number 81, the tight end.
Well, that's a typical pass against the zone where the cornerbacks come up, the safeties go back, and you send that tight end down the middle. That's the weakness, and you just got to lay it over the linebackers, and it's got to be a perfect pass. That case, it was just out of the reach of Mulledy. Dennis Thurman, number 32, put a nice pop on him. Dennis is about 178. Mulde's about 220.
3rd and 10 for the Giants at their 27-yard line. Good afternoon so far for Phil Simms, with the exception of the 1 interception. Larry Heater in motion. Simms back to throw it. Harvey Martin chasing him down back at the 10. He's back at the 5-yard line. Larry Cole's after him now. Threads his way upfield. Finally lets it go for Heater downfield, and Heater makes the catch at the Dallas 30. What a play!
And you believe that play? I'll tell you, you won't see many more than that. There's Randy White and Larry Cole are back talking to himself, and Harvey Martin also. They all had a shot at him. Watch Simms. Now he rolls it right. There's Harvey's got him. He gets away from Martin. Now watch Larry come. Bam! Larry gets hit right there. Here's Randy. Simms cuts inside of him. Another good block, and he just wings it downfield. And Heater, number 27, that's a tough catch right there. That's over his shoulder. He's got a man right on him. Actually, Solomon's in pretty good shape. It's just a heck of a throw and a heck of a catch.
And the Giants are driving with a first down at the Dallas 30-yard line with 1.5 minutes left to play in the 3rd period as they go for the equalizer. They trail 35-28. Freedy wide to the left side. Ernest Gray is flanked to the right. Second man through is Heater. To after that long run by Heater, you think you give him a play to catch his breath.
I tell you, Sims can do it. He's got good feet, moves well, and he can throw the football.
Pick up a 4.
He's got a bright future ahead of him.
2nd down 6. Got a little wet down there on the Giant bench. And elsewhere. Giants at the Cowboy 26-yard line. We're in the final 40 seconds of the 3rd period. Leon Perry cuts inside, has the first down, and is run out of bounds at the Dallas 16.
Well, I'll tell you, Leon Perry got around that corner, showed some speed, and if we get a chance to see this again, he just ran right over a couple people. He put that head down and looked like Earl Campbell running over people right here. Here's the play right here. Good block, and there's Clack is getting out there. Good block on Steve Wilson. And of course, he pops Dennis Thurman right there.
Hard to tell who came out the worst end of that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'll tell you, Dennis is a tough character also.
I tell you, he did run a bit like Earl Campbell. Did Mr. Perry. First down for the 16. Heater's
in trouble. He's in trouble there.
Trapped for a loss of 4 yards as the Cowboys, John Dutton, number 78, broke through with an assist. Also,
Ed Jones makes a play right here. Ed makes it upfield, prevents him from going outside, and then Dutton comes in to clean up. Bob Bruning, Hegman, all of them are over there, but Ed Jones forced the play back inside, and that's what made the play. Big Ed number 72 is having another fine year after a little bit of a layoff last year, a vacation. I don't think it was a vacation. Boxing.
I don't think he looked at it.
Ed wouldn't look at it as a vacation.
No, not at all. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Exciting football game and another quarter to go. So come back. Rain pelting down now here at the Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Aren't you glad you're up here instead of down there?
This is the time to be up here. There's no rain in the booth.
Long-suffering New York Giant fans, they've gone through 17 straight non-championship seasons. And it's going to be a while before they turn it around, but their Giants are giving the Cowboys everything they can handle today.
Here comes Waters again. Here comes Waters.
Perry didn't have a chance to turn around, and Sims obviously had to deliver the football a lot faster than he wanted to.
Waters started his blitz, came back out. Benny Barnes continued. Benny Barnes, number 31, put the pressure on Sims. So they're into a big 3rd down play here.
Can you just forget about rain like this when you're out there just completely?
Well, it's not
it's raining.
It's not a major problem. If you have the wind blowing and rain, then you have the slippage on a football, especially in the passing game. But this is the one advantage here of the AstroTurf, of course, of not getting mud in your eyes and your ears.
3rd down, 15. Giants at the Cowboy 20, trailing by 7. Sims going for Mullity. Touchdown!
I'll tell you, these Giants are coming back. They did not give up, and that was a heck of a play right there. Mullity was on a corner route. He went downfield, broke to the corner, broke to the end of the end zone. Benny Barnes was on him. Sims again, like he's done all day, he's put the ball in the money. Other than the one pass that was intercepted, he has thrown sensational day. This guy's done everything. Here he goes. He's got Benny Barnes is trailing Mullity, but the ball is right there. It had to be right there because Benny's on top of him. Mullity looked it in, and it could be a tie game. If the center can get the ball back.
Tom Landry has also changed into rain gear. Snap was a little bit high, but Danilo got it through. And we're tied again. Just 12 seconds deep into the final period of play. It's the New York Giants 35 and the Dallas Cowboys 35. First game of the year, the Giants beat St. Louis 41-35. We're approaching that cumulative point total right now. We've got almost a full quarter left. Danilo getting ready to kick off in what has to be described simply as pouring down rain now. Newsom fumbles it at the 15, picks it up 20, 25, and Timmy Newsom, Cowboy rookie fullback, is down at the 30-yard line. It is wet and getting wetter by the minute.
This is a wet rain, Frank.
Is there another kind? Look at it come down here at the Meadowlands. Aren't you happy? You're warm and cozy wherever you are.
I'd like to be right down there in the middle of it.
You would like to be right down there in the middle of it.
Middle linebacker.
Now we're not to the 2-minute warning yet. Officials have it marked at the Dallas 29. 1st and 10 Cowboys.
Uh-oh.
Billy Joe Dupree. They get the flag. The pass intended for Dorsett is incomplete. That uh-oh of yours obviously meant something, because as soon as you said it, the official dropped the flag.
I wish we could get a replay on Joe McLaughlin, number 52, but I probably can't get it. He and Fitzgerald. See if you can see number 52. He and Fitz, Big John Fitzgerald. John's a heck of a football player, a center, but he's over to your left, and he and McLaughlin went at it there for a few seconds.
5-yard walk-off against the Cowboys.
Offense, illegal motion. 2 men moving at the same time.
I thought you had that play perfected when you were with the Cowboys, setting guys in motion in each direction.
Well, that time they had Billy Joe went to the right. Beasley Reese was running over there after him. He came back the other side, and Beasley slipped. And, of course, they had the screen out here to this side. It just it didn't work, even if there wasn't the penalty.
1st and 15. Cowboys from their 24. Newhouse takes the handoff up to the 26 for a pickup of 2. I think the Giants are fired up.
Well, McLaughlin again, number 52. He's all over the field. He's moving out there. He's fired up, and he's getting the rest of them fired up.
2nd down situation. Cowboys go with their passing offense as Butch Johnson comes in. Newhouse comes out, and Newsom comes in. Dallas looking at a 2nd and 13 with the ball at the 26. Tom Landry. Hope he doesn't get electrocuted. On the delay to Dorsett. Well, he put one move too many on and finally slipped and fell.
Well, that's the play that's been working all day. It's kind of that delay and going back to the weak side, and Dorsett didn't have much room there, and then he tried to cut back, fake to the inside, go outside, and he slipped. That Giant defense now, the linebackers, you know, you think of the Giants, you think of Kelly, Carson, Van Pelt, Dan Lloyd last year. Now there's guys like McLaughlin, Scorpan, Marion. But right now they're playing. They're playing along with Van Pelt as the only veteran linebacker. The linebackers are giving them good support right now.
Interesting statistic there. Dallas has dominated in the 4th period throughout this season. Giants have scored the only touchdown of the 4th quarter so far. From the shotgun on 3rd and 13, Danny White, sideline throw, knocked away by Haynes.
Haynes timed that just right. The ball was thrown out there. It was thrown out there in good shape. It was a deep comeback to Drew Pearson. He was man-to-man on Haynes, and Haynes waited just at the right moment before he hit Drew Pearson. It was a good defensive play.
Danny White comes in to do the punting. And Alvin Garrett, number 25, is deep for the New York Giants, standing back at his 25-yard line. Only one punt for White this afternoon. Snap is a little bit high, but he gets it away in good order. Kick is a little bit short and wobbly,
good
coming back
punt
at the 35, fielded at the 30 by Garrett. Trying to get outside. Garrett is at the 40-yard line and run out of bounds at the Giant 41.
And that was a good job, Frank, by Bill Rowe. Bill strung that to the outside.
We'll return to Giant Stadium after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
TV2 Boise.
You know, we talked to Drew Pearson earlier. I had a chance to. You know, he's from this area, and he's got a real fan that's not here today. He usually has a big crowd here, but Sam Pearson isn't here. He's a friend of mine. Sam's home watching the game, and I talked to Drew about it.
Well, it's a great feeling to be able to play here and be able to be in this position where I'm playing in front of my home folks and having a chance to break the Cowboy all-time receiving record. And that coincides with everything, and turns out to be a natural psych up for me entering this particular football game. But I do have a low point. My father is not going to be able to make the game because he is sick with cancer, and he's trying to deal with that. And the conditions here don't permit him to be here today, but I'm going to try everything I can to try to get that record today just for him and get that football so he can feel like he's part of it.
Hey, Jim.
Well spoken. Leon Perry on that first handoff for 3 yards for the Giants. It'll be 2nd down 7.
I'd like to say hi to Sam because I remember him sitting in the front row of this stadium and in Philadelphia, anywhere close in the East, and rooting for Drew, and I'm sure he's home rooting hard today.
Pearson has caught 2 passes thus far this afternoon. He needs 4 more to set that Cowboys all-time receiving record. Officials have it marked at the Giant 43. Larry Heater gets the call. Heater breaks to the outside across the 45 and up to the 48. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Giants. I tell you, Joe Theismann has got a comeback going for the Redskins. 3 touchdown passes now in the second half. And the Redskins are within 2 touchdowns of the Bears with still quite a bit of time left in that game.
It's like 2 different games there. First half, second half.
3rd down. New York needs 3 for the first down. Ball is at their 48. 11 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the game. Heater in motion. Phil Simms. Back to throw. Quick sideline to Freedy for the first down as he makes the grab at the Dallas 46.
Well, that's excellent timing there. Simms takes a short setup. He's got a quick pass, 1, 2, 3, and throw, and it's perfect timing. Freedy's got the ball, and it just can't stop a play when you're man-to-man on a guy like that. You got to have some help underneath, and of course, that quick of a play, Aaron Mitchell was doing about all he could, but they got the first down.
One of the Giants was shaken up on that play. The first injury we've had in this football game. Time out of the field with 11 minutes and 14 seconds left to play, and we're still tied. The injured Giant was Roy Simmons, the left guard, who went out of the game, and J.T. Turner, who we are told suffered a broken foot last week, is in there, playing after 1 week on a broken foot. 1st and 10, Giants at the Cowboy 46-yard line. Phil Simms in trouble behind the line, gets the pass away.
Oh, Simms is a heady player. He looked out there, and Dallas had the right defense. Again, Mitchell came up that time. They probably were looking for the quick sideline, and that's how you take it away. The cornerback comes up. You have someone back there to help you deep, and of course Mitchell was right on top of Freedy. It was a quick screen. The pressure was tough, but Simms maintained his composure, threw the ball into the ground, but number 30, Leon Perry, was in the area, so the referees let him get away with it.
This may be a patchwork Giant offense, but they're certainly not playing that way today. Particularly their passing game. It's been outstanding. 2nd and 10 on the Cowboy 46-yard line. Look what Simms has done. Pass for almost 300 yards. Flash of lightning in the distance. Oh! Freedy with a great one-handed grab at the 30-yard line.
Oh, look at that. I'll tell you, Mike Eggman is looking around, too, wondering how the guy caught that pass. Freedy might have hurt his ankle a little bit. Watch him stick his left hand out here. Simms drills that ball. There's a tight hole in there. He drills it, and watch this. His left hand goes out, cradles the ball, puts it in his chest. He catches it right in front of Aaron Mitchell. Mitchell can't believe it either.
Now that puts Simms over the 300-yard mark in the passing department. And the Giants have a first down at the Dallas 30. Score tied at 35. Larry Heater. Inside the 25, inside the 20, to the 19, first down.
I'll tell you, that Larry Heater is the number 2 rusher with the Giants. He's been an unknown commodity in the past. He's got 172 yards before today, but he's getting good. Look at Leon Perry, though. He knocks him out of there, too. He hits Dutton. He hits Waters. Boy, he's a fighter, too. Look at them both. Both of them are fighters, and Heater brings that ball inside the 20, and it's a first down.
Freedy has now caught 6 for 116 yards. Far and away the leading receiver in the game. Nose of the football just inside the Cowboy 20. First down, Giants. Larry Heater again to the 16. And then shoved back. Pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd down 7.
whenever you see the fullback, Frank, when you have that I formation, and the I formation with the two backs behind each other, kind of like some people we play doubles in tennis, the two guys behind each other in an I formation in football, that fullback is really a critical blocker, because when you go inside, that fullback is the lead blocker, and he's got to clean up any linebacker or any stunts. And I'll tell you, Perry today has run well, but he's also blocked excellently for Heater.
Heater's got 67 yards rushing and 21 carries. He's the Giants' leading rusher. There's Perry breaking through, fighting his way. The ball comes out of there, and the Cowboys, I believe, recover it. Let's wait and see.
Cowboys have it.
Dallas gets the ball at the 4.
Big break. Just talking about Perry, he was fighting what he's been doing all day, and he fought a little bit too hard there, and the ball popped loose.
The veteran D.D. Lewis, number 50, comes up with a big fumble recovery.
That was a big recovery right there. Watch him. He's fighting for that extra yardage right here. Right here, he's almost stopped, and the ball's pulled loose. Clack almost gets to it.
That's the turnover picture. The Giants have just handed it over to the Cowboys. Second fumble recovery for Dallas. Cowboys now with a first down at their own 4-yard line. With a slippery ball, they'll have to be very, very careful. Rain continues to pelt down. Newhouse gets the call. Carries it out to the 8-yard line. Pick up a 4. It'll be second down 6 before he's jammed up by the white-shirted Giants. Just think somebody doesn't score, we'd be looking at 15 minutes of sudden death in this one.
Well, there's been 6 turnovers today, and they've all been costly. 4 by Dallas, set up 3 touchdowns, and also stalled a Dallas drive. 2 by New York. 1 set up a touchdown, the other stalled a New York drive. So all 6 have been a factor in this game.
Second down, 6. Cowboys from their 8. Saldi, the tight end in motion. Dorsett with the handoff. Out across the 10 to the 12. He's short of the first down as Brad Van Pelt, number 10, made the stop. Giants get the Green Bay Packers next Sunday here at the Meadowlands. Cowboys return home against St. Louis.
Well, this is a big third down. 3rd and 2. Dallas has got their 2 tight ends in there. But New York would love to bottle them back here.
If the Cowboys have to punt, White would have to do so.
Well, they don't. Dallas has got 2 wide receivers in there, so this could be a...
well, if they don't pick up the first, they will.
Passing situation. 3rd and 2, they might throw.
That's what they're going to do. On 3rd and 2, White with all kinds of time.
All kinds of time, and
it's intercepted. It's picked off by Haynes. There's a flag down as Haynes runs it back.
I don't think it's a flag. I think he's just marking the ball.
No, it's a flag. That's a yellow flag. And it's going to be against New York.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's a rough call there.
It's going to go against the Giants.
Danny White's back. He's got plenty of time. He's looking, surveying the field, and letting it go. Well, the referee, well, it's close there. The referee's saying that Tony Hill was pushed. And it...
First down.
Pass interference on Mark Haynes,
yeah, that's
36.
Yeah, 36. Again, you see Haynes going into the back of Tony Hill. It's very, very close, but here we can see a better view of it. Right there. I'll tell you, though, that referee is looking from the other side, and I thought he played the ball well, and I didn't think that was a good call.
It's a tremendous break for the Cowboys. Gives them a first down at their 35 instead of having to punt or turning over the football to the interception. Dorsett out to the 37, a pickup of 2 and no more. Gary Jeter, number 70, making the stop.
It looked like Mark Haynes is playing that ball pretty well to me, Frank.
He might have given him a little nudge in the back there where we were kind of shielded off before the ball got there.
Right, where that flag came from, though, it would have been difficult for that referee to see that. He saw something.
Second down, 7. One thing I can tell you, he saw is a lot of rain. Score tied at 35. 6.5 minutes left to play in the game. Dorsett to the 39 for 2 more. It'll be 3rd and 6.
I think that's Newsom in there now, Frank, number 30. Or either that or it's 30s. Newsom.
Timmy Newsom, the fullback, the rookie. And now Newsom comes right back out. So the Cowboys go to their pass offense on 3rd down. It's closer to 5 than it is 4. Let's call it 3rd down and 5 needed for the 1st down from the Dallas 40. White's got Butch Johnson and Tony Hill wide to the left side, and Drew Pearson split to the right. Johnson in motion from the shotgun. White in trouble, lets it fly downfield, nobody there. Johnson was the closest man to the ball. He was going one-on-one with Mark Haynes.
Well, White gets rid of that ball. He had the pressure, and also he was stopped from going to the outside, so he just let it fly downfield. Pretty heady play there. Good pressure, excellent defense by the Giants.
Tommy Kramer has just thrown another touchdown pass for the Vikings, who lead Detroit 24-0 in the 3rd period. Alvin Garrett, number 25, trying to keep those hands warm. White to do the punting. 5.5 minutes left to play in the game. Nice high kick, a little bit short. Fair catch, fumble by Garrett. The indication.
That's another, looks like Dallas is indicating it's their ball.
Had no indication from the official yet. They're not sure until they unpeel.
Well, that's a big one down there, I'll tell you that. 5 minutes to go in the game.
They still haven't said who's got the football. A lot of wrestling going on. Giants are pointing one way.
Dallas is pointing the other. The guy in the striped shirts are the ones you have to watch where they're going to point. And the striped shirts.
Ray Perkins, the beleaguered Giant head coach.
Well,
Giants get it. The Giants have recovered the fumble. We've got an injured player.
Well, Anthony Dickerson is not happy at all, number 51.
Sports Spectacular.
1st and 10, Giants with the football at their 22. They say the breaks even out over the course of a season anyway. We've had 2 big ones. Cowboys got a big one a moment ago on the pass interference call, and now the Giants get a big one. Easily raised by the recovery on that fumble by Garrett on the punt. It wasn't actually a fumble, it was a muff, because he never had possession. Cold, chilling rain continues to fall as it has most of the 2nd half here at Giants Stadium. 2nd and 7, Giants with the ball at their 25-yard line. We'll keep close tabs on the time for you. The clock is moving at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Giants 35, the Cowboys 35. Phil Simms over the middle. Ernest Gray almost has it taken out of his hands by Steve Wilson.
Yeah, Steve Wilson was in good position. Phil Simms tried to force that one in to Gray, but this time Wilson really had excellent position and probably could have intercepted that ball if it wasn't wet.
3rd and 7. Let's go to Brent Musburger.
Frank, the NFC Central is becoming a wide-open race this afternoon. Watch here as Tommy Kramer throws a 22-yard scoring pass to Ricky Young, and suddenly it has put the Vikings ahead of the Lions by a score of 24-0. Quickly back to Frank Lieber.
3rd and 7. Giants at their 25.
Here they come.
Simms over the middle, has to throw it away. Intended for Mullity, the tight end.
Well, Dallas has got that strong safety blitz. Charlie Waters isn't on that 3rd down. He's right on the line of scrimmage, and no one's picked him up yet. He's pressured Simms every time. That blitz has worked very well for Dallas today on 3rd down.
Dave Jennings, the top punter in the National Football Conference, trying his hands. He'll punt from the 10-yard line. Cowboys have James Jones as a single safety standing on the 30. punting return all the way. Short punt fielded by Jones, fumbles it, and Dallas retains possession at the 37-yard line.
Well, there weren't any other white shirts around other than Beasley Reese, so Dallas had plenty of people around that football.
Timeout with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left to play in the game, and the score tie. As the rain has increased, the scoring pace has slowed down. Cowboys with a first down at their 37-yard line with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left to play in the game. Dorsett caught by Brad Van Pelt, number 10. Van Pelt, the elder statesman of the Giant defense, and the only remaining starting linebacker who talked before the game about some of his fallen comrades.
I think more than anybody would want to. When you lose a middle linebacker like Danny Lloyd, which was just coming into his own, and somebody like Harry Carson, which, you know, I don't know if there's a better middle linebacker in the league, and then on the other side, Brian Kelly, which basically was the brains of the defense. He called all our audibles and got us in the right formations. And when you're playing a team like Dallas, it's very important to have somebody out there like that.
On 2nd and 9, Dorsett getting the call out to the 40, 45, and slides forward to the 47-yard line. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
I'll tell you that Joe McLaughlin made a nice play there, Frank. He tripped up Dorsett, got that one hand around Dorsett's ankle, or he might have broken that one long ways.
McLaughlin is another rookie out of the University of Massachusetts. Obviously, some of the names on this Giants roster today aren't exactly household words in the National Football League. Yet another big play in this game. 3rd and 1. Tony Dorsett nearing the 200-yard rushing mark. Far and away his best day of the year. 3rd down 1 from the Dallas 46. Under 3 minutes to play. Fumble. Newsom got the call. I believe he got the ball back.
Dallas got the ball back. Yeah, they did.
Newsom recovered his own fumble. Now the question is, did he pick up enough to get the first down?
Watch the ball pop out here. It's an inside play, and right about there goes the ball. He loses it immediately. He just never really had a handle on the ball, and it looks like he either fell on his own fumble or someone got it back. In fact, it is Newsom down there at the bottom of the pile, and I think he squirmed probably good enough for the first down. Close enough for measurement, certainly. This will be a very important measurement. If they don't get it, it's a punting situation. Score tied at 35. It is that close. It is a matter of inches. 4th down, and certainly less than 6 inches needed for the first down. Danny White says 2. All right, you going to go for it? Well, I would guess. If I was going to guess, I would say Tom Landry would not go for it, but he is going to go for it. I would think with the rainy day and everything else that kick that ball back and hold New York, but they're going for it. It's 6 inches, and Danny White's going to call timeout and talk it over.
2 minutes and 28 seconds left to play in the game. Timeout called by the Cowboys as White will talk it over with head coach Tom Landry. And Roger Staubach and I'll be back at the Meadowlands right after this. Final score. The Bears have held off the Redskins and won it 35-21. Our score is tied at 35. A big call coming up for the Cowboys, who have 4th down and 2 inches, and they'll go for it.
They're going for it. I would wonder. Coach Landry normally wouldn't go for this, but he feels there's 2:28 to go. He's going for the win, and that's why they're doing it.
They don't have Dorsett in there. They've got James Jones at tailback. Ball is at their 47-yard line. And the handoff goes to Robert Newhouse, and it'll be close. Cowboys feel they got it. The Giants feel they didn't. And again, a measurement will determine.
That last little lunge by Newhouse, I think, got it.
Keep in mind, he needed only 2 inches.
Well, the Giants are signaling the other way, but again, it doesn't matter because they've got to measure it. Newhouse had a lunge there. He was hit and almost almost didn't make it, and then he lunged, and now it's going to be questionable until we see the measurement.
If the Cowboys don't make it, the ball goes over to the Giants at the Dallas 47, and you'll hear a tremendous roar from these Giant fans.
Well, that last lunge of his, I think, is...
Giants get it. Cowboys did not make it.
Well, I guess that last lunge wasn't enough.
Not quite.
I really thought he had it on that lunge but I guess House isn't quite tall enough. If he was maybe 6'2", he would have made that on that lunge.
Apparently took Dorsett out on that play to get a little more blocking help in there for Newhouse. As Jones was in there.
Well, the ball was handed off into the backfield, and that's always there's always something can go wrong there. It wasn't the safest play you could run, but again, you can second guess it all day because it didn't work.
A flea flicker. Back to Sims it goes. They're going long for Freedy. Wilson is out there. Freedy makes the catch at the 6-yard line. First down, goal to go Giants. The old flea flicker. Mike Freedy, a reject of the Detroit Lions, has been spectacular. As Perry took the handoff from Sims and then lateraled the ball back to his quarterback, the old flea flicker.
Well, I tell you, Dallas was not fooled by the play, Frank. They were back there. Mitchell was back. Wilson was back. Wilson was right on Freedy. Mitchell was back on his man on the other side. Sims had his choice to go to either side, and he went to the 6'3" Freedy. And I tell you, Freedy's made catches today that you won't see in a lot of football games. He's made 2 today that just were sensational. That one in the play early in the game when he caught it one-handed. So he's been a tremendous find from the Detroit Lions.
2-minute warning going to both benches now. Freedy has caught 7.
I lost the ball right there, and then all of a sudden it was pitched back. Now watch Sims throw this. Steve Wilson, kind of like the play last week when Pat Tilley caught the ball on Wilson. Freedy comes inside, makes a play, but Wilson is back there in good shape. It's just an excellent play by Freedy.
2 minutes left to play in the football game. The warning has gone to both benches, and the Giants have a first down at the 6-yard line. 12 times in a row this team has lost to the Cowboys.
Here's another view. It's the end of the line. Perry's into the line. Pitches back. Sims winds up and throws the ball. But Steve Wilson is down there on his man in good position, and there's Freedy, comes inside and makes the play.
Boy, this momentum has just shifted back and forth and back one break after the other.
I know Sims and Ray Perkins were over there talking, and Perkins is telling Sims, tell your running backs to cover up that football. We're in position to kick a field goal at the worst. Let's don't give it away by making a tricky run trying to score. Don't fight for that extra yard. This is one time you don't want to fight for that extra yardage in case you might fumble the football.
First and goal from the 6-yard line for the New York Giants. The score tied at 35 or in the final 2 minutes. It is Heater stacked up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Really shoved back hard. Wilson was in on the stop, number 45. Along with Bruning.
Well, there's a timeout been called. I'm sure it's by Dallas, and that's pretty darn good strategy by Dallas's part, because they know that New York's in field position to kick a field goal. They don't want to let New York just run the clock down and have a last grasp at the field goal, so they're going for the timeouts in case New York does kick the field goal. They want some time left to score.
Our executive producer, Charles H. Milton III. Our producer here at the Meadowlands this afternoon, Bob Rowe, and our director, Jim Silman. And some of our other good friends who helped make this telecast possible. It's been an exciting one. We hope you've enjoyed it. We still got a ways to go.
Well, the strategy here, I feel, is Dallas wasted one timeout when Danny White had to call a timeout earlier in the half, so they've got one left. If I was New York, I'd try to position it right in front of that goal post and don't let Dallas get the ball back. Dallas is too good. Danny White's excellent at making the big plays, and of course the strategy here is being debated on the sidelines.
The man with the red gloves is Joe Danello, the Giants field goal kicker, trying to stay warm.
Well, Joe's
it's interesting, we haven't had a field goal attempt on either side this afternoon with all the offense we've had. Second down. Ball is spotted at the 7-yard line. Second and goal to go. 1:50 left to play in the game. Larry Heater again runs into a stone wall at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and goal. And they may have shoved him back to the 8. Another timeout called by the Cowboys. That should be 3, I believe.
That's it. They wasted that one early, and it could be costly.
Joe Danello, who may be called on in just a moment to try to stop this 12-game Giant losing streak to the Cowboys and the 8-game losing streak on the year. Keep in mind that the Giants haven't beaten the Cowboys in New York since 1970, and their last victory was in Dallas back in 1976. Giants are looking at a 3rd and goal to go from the 8-yard line. And of course, the Giants have all their timeouts left. They would appear to be in the driver's seat. White getting loosened up himself, anticipating getting the football back at some point.
Well, he knows that he's got to get him at least in field goal range, assuming that New York kicks the field goal.
Danello has not had a particularly good year, by the way. He's only 8 out of 15 coming into this game. 3rd and goal. New York at the Dallas 8-yard line. Bootleg. Sims thought he could fool the Cowboys, but it wasn't to be, and he lost a yard.
Aaron Mitchell was waiting right there, and Heather was over there. Mitchell's got a few words for Sims. But here he is. He's right there, and he's nowhere to go.
So it'll be up to the field goal unit now. As the clock continues to roll, Cowboys are out of timeouts.
Well, New York's going to probably let it run down to least amount of time they can take a timeout.
30-second clock has 10 seconds left on it. Certainly they'll stop it before they get to 0 here. They don't want the 5-yard penalty. We're down to 2. Maybe they are going to take the 5. Now the 30-second clock has run out, just recycled. But they did call the timeout before it ran out.
I tell you, he barely called it, and that's a big difference between kicking from your 10-yard line or your 15-yard line.
Tonight on CBS, evening starts with 60 Minutes, followed by Archie Bunker's Place. You'll see the season premiere of One Day at a Time, then Alice, the Jeffersons, and part 2 of the season premiere of Dallas. All tonight on CBS. We still don't know who shot JR. But we're going to find out before too long. All right, pressure on Danello. 8 out of 15 on the year. The ball is about at the 10-yard line, just shy of the 10. So we're looking at approximately a 27-yard field goal attempt. Danello, between 20 and 30 yards, has hit 3 out of 4 on the year. Scott Brunner, the rookie, to hold it. Now, keep in mind, they've had problems with the snaps.
That's right, Frank. They've had problems with the snaps.
27-yard field goal attempt. 1:10 left to play. Perfect snap this time. Kick is good.
Tell you, that's 1:07 to go, no timeouts left. This kickoff is critical here.
Perfect snap.
Yeah. Kicked it right through the middle.
27-yard field goal for Danello. Took a tumble after it went through. Got his hand a little dirty, but he'll take that any time. Return is important here, and the Cowboys have one of the best kickoff returners in the league in James Jones, number 23. 1:07 to go, no timeouts left.
I saw a game yesterday. I couldn't believe it. Georgia was playing Florida. Florida had the control of the game. All of a sudden, Georgia's back to their 7-yard line, 3rd down, and the guy hits a 93-yard touchdown pass. I couldn't believe it. Dallas is going to have to do something big right here.
Newsome fumbles it, picks it up at the 10, 15,
this is where your specialty
20.
teams.
Newsome fights his way out close to the 30-yard line. No timeouts, 1 minute left to play. First down at your 30. How about your play selection here?
Well, this is interesting here for New York. They got to decide to have 3-man rush and have 8 guys back there and give Danny White time or rush him. They made the decision to rush him. They got 4 guys in there because they know the field goal can still tie it up. So they're going to rush 4, and they're going to play it not as cautious as you might think.
From the shotgun.
There's
White
the screen
out to Dorsett. Dorsett slips and falls. Tried to turn around as the ball went over his right shoulder. He tried to make that adjustment, and his feet went out from underneath him. The rain has subsided somewhat, but it's still coming down in the form of a heavy mist.
Well, New York made the decision. They're going after him. They're going after the with the four-man rush. Try to keep him inside the 50-yard line. Try to keep him in bounds. Dallas needs to hit a big one over the middle, run up to the ball, and throw it out of bounds.
Remember what happened last year? Cowboys moved 90 yards in the last minute and a half. Of course, they did have some timeouts.
Coming over the middle.
Here's White. Good protection. Now he's in trouble. Trying to get rid of it, and does. Finds Dupree at the 45, 50, and out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
No one near him. Danny White scrambled out of that one, Frank.
He looked like he was dead. He looked like he was absolutely dead back there. I thought they had him.
Well, they had him, but they didn't have him. There's number 8. He had him right there. Had grabbing on his jersey, and of course Dupree. Someone left Dupree. That's a missed assignment. But the scramble by Danny White, and that's his ability. He can make the big play.
And of course, going out of bounds stops the clock with 44 seconds. And Rafael Septien could be called upon for his first field goal effort.
They got another 15 yards to go. They're in field goal range. They hit another pass.
No timeouts left. 44 seconds. White out of the shotgun over the middle, complete at the 35-yard line. Still a little bit beyond Septien's range as Butch Johnson makes the grab.
He'll throw this one. He'll take a quick one and heave it out of bounds here.
You see the time remaining in the game. Cowboys trail by 3. Drew Pearson at the 30-yard line. Out of bounds at the 29. Well, you're looking at this now. From that point, you're looking at a 46-yard field goal by Septien.
It's in his range. No question about that.
Obviously, they'd like to get at least one more completion here, get it a little bit closer, and shorten that distance for their place kicker, which would send it into overtime. It is 2nd down and 5. 19 seconds left. Cowboys at the Giant 29, trying to send this one into overtime. If not, win it outright. Good protection for White, and the receiver falls down. It's intercepted. Intercepted, and the Giants get the football.
Well, somebody, that ball was way over Dupree's head, but someone did slip.
It looked like Tony Hill down there at the 15 slipped, and Gary Wilford, number 20, picked off the interception.
I don't know who the ball was going to. It was either going to Dorsett or Dupree, and Danny's very unhappy there. He put them in good shape. They needed one more pass, and they had a field goal shot. And of course, the thing you don't want is the interception. And he's going to have a lot of big plays ahead this year. He's already made a lot of them. And of course, this is New York's day. The game has gone back and forth, and that guy's quality right there, though. He got him one pass away from a possible field goal. And of course, New York made the play again today on defense. They've made it all day on offense and defense, and it's been an exciting football game.
5 interceptions for Danny White.
All the agony of defeat is rough, but the thrill of victory here in those white uniforms is something special also.
That's the ball game, and the Giants not only snapped their 8-game losing streak this year, but for the first time in 13 outings, they have beaten the Dallas Cowboys 38-35.
Phil Simms is in the middle of that field. He's being congratulated by some Cowboy players and some his own own teammates. He ought to be congratulated by everybody. He had a great day, along with Freedy making big catches. He was 18 of 33. Sims, 351 yards. And Gray made a big play, and it was a day for the Giants.
An exciting football game here at the Meadowlands. Septien did not get the chance to go for that tying field goal. Danilo, of course, with the 27-yarder. And that wrapped it up as the Giants fell behind in the second half after leading the entire first half. But they came back and took the lead and eventually won the ball game. For Roger Staubach, Mike Lieber saying so long from Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger and Irv Cross. And for Cowboy fans, the Eagles trail the Saints 7-0. Archie Manning strikes first in that game. But would you believe the Giant-Cowboy game? Irv Cross, Danny White had a tough afternoon.
Real tough day. He only came into this game having thrown 9 interceptions for the whole year. Had a bunch of them today. There's a touchdown for the Giants, the tackle-eligible play.
Boy, this is a pretty play, isn't it? They set the screen in the middle for Ron Springs, and the former Buckeye just bolts down the middle.
Timed it real well. They caught the Giants in a blitz. The linebackers came in, sucked him in. Of course, Springs just simply outran the secondary.
Giants led it by 7. Then it was Robert Newhouse. Veer left, cut back to the middle, and after the extra point, it was deadlocked at 28. What a day Tony Dorsett had for the Cowboys.
Big day. Somewhere around 184 yards rushing, and wasn't quite enough, though, Brent.
But then the Giants, late in the third quarter, got this outstanding catch by Tom Mulledy in the corner of the end zone, and it was deadlocked at 35. And then they went to the flea flicker, and Sims is going to go to Freedy.
What a play. Remember, it's a downpour there at the Meadowlands. Wet ball, great catch.
And it was Joe Danilo hitting this 27-yard field goal that made it 38-35, but the Cowboys don't quit on you. And the receiver slipped, according to Roger Staubach, and it was intercepted, making it 5 for the afternoon, and the Cowboys couldn't believe it. 38-35, the Giants over the Cowboys, and now the Dallas record is 7-3. The Giants are 2-8. Elsewhere, final score now. Chicago shoots down Washington. 35-21. What a race in the NFC Central right now, as it appears as though the Lions are going to lose for the 4th time this year. The world champion Steelers won, but just barely, by 3 over the Buccaneers, 24-21, and Williams was rallying the Buccaneers all the way. Bradshaw went 23 yards to Swan in that game. Doug Williams had 2 touchdown passes, 26 yards to House and 8 yards to Bell. And San Francisco has just fallen behind the Green Bay Packers. The 49ers struck first, dominated the first half, but then the Packers came right back. They kicked the extra point. It is now 20-13 in the third. And Cleveland 28, Baltimore 13. Charles White has scored twice for the Browns on 5-yard runs. Sipe 39 yards to Dave Logan in that game. And there it is. If Minnesota wins it, and it appears as though they will, their record will be 5-5 or a game behind. Tampa Bay 4-5-1, and now Chicago 4-6. St. Louis is going to give the Rams, hold on. The Atlanta Falcons have not yet quit. In the third, it is 27-20 as Bartkowski is rallying the Falcons in St. Louis. Buffalo and the Jets. Ferguson, a 6-yard scoring pass and a field goal. It is now 10-0 Buffalo over the Jets. Cincinnati and Oakland just underway, and the Bengals lead it by a field goal. Kansas City has a Lowry field goal from 42 yards, and they lead the Seahawks by 3. Seahawks can't win at home, can they? Denver and San Diego scoreless, but only in the first period. Meanwhile, Miami strikes first in Anaheim. Woodley goes to Tony Nathan. It is 7-0 Dolphins over the Rams. And here it is, New Orleans 7, Philadelphia nothing. Manning 24 yards to Williams in that game. We've got a lot of highlights. Back with those as the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment. Only 2 games, Irv, separate 5 teams in the NFC Central, and Walter Payton exploded today.
He was way overdue to have a big day, you know. We expected it, and we're happy to see it. Here we go early in the ball game.
51 yards. He'd only scored 1 touchdown on the season prior to that play. And now it's Vince Evans to James Scott. And what about this young Evans?
Vince Evans is probably the strongest quarterback in football. He's a weightlifter. He has the ability to zap the ball just simply by flicking his wrist. There's touchdown number 1.
Now watch him go to Walter Payton. 54-yard scoring play. It was 28-0 Chicago. In the second half, Joe Theismann finally got the skins rolling.
The thing I liked about this play is that Theismann saw the pocket break down, and he just simply got out of there. Everybody looks for mobile quarterbacks. That's the reason why. Get something when nothing happens.
They actually ran off 3 straight touchdowns, but it was too little too late. And Chicago beats Theismann and Ricky Thompson 35-21. Now take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals, and here's Jim Hart. Cowboy fans know him ever so well. Chris Cones, 38 yards and the touchdown.
The Atlanta Falcons are really concerned about Hart's ability to pick apart their defense because they have young linebackers back there, and you see what happened to him.
Oh, Pat Tilley, free, in for the score. It was 14-3, St. Louis. O.J. Anderson, a little halfback delay. 10-yard scoring play, but Bartkowski has rallied the Falcons. Here Kane taking a pitch out and getting in. And in the third, 27-20, Irv.
The backs are really tough runners, Brett. They just don't give up. Bartkowski going up on top this time. Good throw.
And Francis has got it, 27 yards for the score. Now it is Minnesota. Tommy Kramer back at quarterback for the Vikes today. Hits Ted Brown. This is a 67-yard scoring play.
How about a 10-yard pass completion, about a 57-yard run, right? A lot of speed.
Here's an interception now, but Gary Danielson passed. And you have to believe that the internal problems are finally getting to the Lions.
No doubt about it. You can't go into a championship season with internal problems. They had players walk out of the camp in Detroit, and I'm sure that they're reassessing their situation now.
They got to reassess their pass defense. Kramer to Ricky Young, 22 yards, touchdown. It is 27-0 in the fourth period. The Vikings over the Lions right now. Meanwhile, Scott DeBerg going to Solomon. And watch this combination, not once, but twice. Here comes one of the best catches of the year right here.
All this takes is total concentration. The only thing you see here is the tip of the ball.
And then it was Linville Elliott slipping in for the score. It was 13-0, 49ers, before Whitehurst rallied the Packers. He went to James Lofton for 20 yards. Turdell Middleton got in for the 1-yard line. And after that, Irv, it was Gary Ellis. And then, for the Buccaneers, it was the Steelers blocking that punt early on and recovering it. That put them up 10-0. Blanchard couldn't get it off. Then it was Doug Williams to Kevin House for 26 yards in the score.
One day this young man's really going to come into his own. Have a pretty good day today.
Sidney Thornton got the Steelers ahead, 17-7. And then Williams rallied the Buccaneers. Here he is to Jimmy Giles, wide open in the end zone, 12-yarder. That made it 17-14. Now watch this. It helps to be lucky, folks. Ricochet once, twice. There's Lynn Swan. How do you do? Touchdown for the Steelers. 24-14. Williams threw the swinger to Ricky Bell for 8 yards, but they still wound up losing it by 3 yards. Let's take you back up to the scoreboard now and get you up to date on everything that has gone on. We've got a lot of games in progress. And of course, many of you are interested in that contest right there, and I can tell you that Ron Jaworski has driven the Eagles down, and they are just now tied. That game is 7-all. Put it up there on the NFL Today board in a second. Miami, it was a Jaworski touchdown pass that did it. Miami leading the Rams 7-0 in the first. That one's very hard to believe. Denver and San Diego are scoreless. That game is in the first. San Diego figures to erupt at home. Kansas City leading Seattle by 3. The Seahawks cannot win at home. They're thinking of chartering a plane and flying it over the Kingdome with the players prior to kickoff. Cincinnati leading Oakland by a field goal, 3-0, but it is early. Buffalo zapping the Jets at Shea Stadium, 17-0 in the second period. Chuck Knox and the Bills figure to make the playoffs. It is still St. Louis ahead of Atlanta, but only by 7 points as the Falcons are coming back, and they've got a good team this year. Minnesota is going to beat Detroit. You can write it down. It's going to be easy, 27-0. The Lions are suddenly floundering. Now, Cleveland appears to be one of the stronger teams in the AFC this year. Jimmy the Greek told me before he left, 28-13, and you can write down the Browns as the favorite, not up in the Steelers. San Francisco and Green Bay, and the Packers leading it, 20-13. A lot of time to go, though, in that contest, and Bill Walsh has got a marvelous offense. Okay, final scores. Steelers win it, but only by 3 over Tampa Bay. The Steelers have just not been dominating anybody. Chicago, though, downed Washington 35-21 was the final score there, and so the Bears, like every other team in the NFC Central end. And there it is. the Giants 38, the Dallas Cowboys 35. In that game, Sims was 18 of 33 for 351 yards. Freedy caught 7 passes for 137 yards. White was 9 of 21 for 143 yards. And we got the Eagle play. Here it is. Watch Ron Jaworski right here.
You know, Brent, the Eagles are really concerned about the New Orleans Saints. They hadn't won a ball game. They said they know darn well they're going to explode one day. Jaworski to Carmichael for a touchdown. That keeps his passing streak alive, by the way.
I was just checking the schedule over here. The St. Louis Cardinals are at Dallas next week, and you got to figure the Cowboys are going to be a whole lot angry. You know, the Cowboys, that 1 4th-down play, they might have lost 2 in a row right now to the Cardinals and to the Giants. So for all of us here at CBS Sports, have a nice week, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday. And again, the Giants upset the Dallas Cowboys.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Ford and your local Ford dealer, who invite you to test drive the new 1981 Ford cars and trucks. Light beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Owens Corning Fiberglass Corporation, makers of Owens Corning's pink fiberglass insulation. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. It's predictable. Go to a movie about cops, and there's